now tuned into Somewhere in the Middle with Soonie and Mo.
Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, Don on the beat. Hey, I got so many ups. Everywhere I go, I got so many ups. So many ups. I know they plotting against me. I know it's hate, they wanna kill me, but please don't tempt me, cause I got so many glocks. Hey, ain't none of them empty. Jesus said they would hate me too. That's how I know it's envy. I got so many ups.
Hey guys, what's up? I know it's just me. Soonie's going to be here in just a second. She was dropping off her kids and she's right down the street from her house. So we will see her in just a moment, but it's not a bad thing. You guys get me for a little bit. So, you know, you guys can deal with it. I'm going to go ahead and play the Big Booty Judy song, and then we're going to get into what topics we're talking about today.
Big Judy, big booty Judy. What? Big Judy, big booty Judy. Big booty, big Judy, big booty Judy. Stop, I wanna see you move it. Yeah, big booty Judy, big booty Judy. Got big booty Judy, that's big booty Judy. Got big booty Judy, that's big booty Judy.
All right. You got the Big Booty Judy song. Before I get started into going into topics, please make sure you hit the like button, most importantly, because that like button gets our video warmed up in the algorithm. Hit the share button if you've got anybody that you want to share this video with. Get the comment section going. Also, don't forget, if you would like to donate to our Venmo, you can do so by scanning this QRC code. I'm right here. Or as always, you can super chat as well. We love the super chats. We love the support. It's what we do. This is what we do. This is how we make our living. So we really, really appreciate the super chats and the support. Also, you can always buy merch as well. That also supports our channel. But the super chats and the Venmo support me and Soonie specifically. What's up, Amy? What's up, Judy? What's up, Elizabeth? I see Uncle. Oh, he doesn't like when I call him Uncle Ced. I see Cedric in the building. He doesn't like when I call him Uncle Ced because he says it's kind of weird because he thinks I'm hot. So, you know, it is what it is. All right, cool. Okay, so let me tell you guys what we're going to talk about today. We have a ton of stuff to talk about, and we're probably going to be just a little bit shorter on time because Soonie, you know, her kids are out of school right now for the summer. So she's got mom things to do. Okay. She's got mom things to do. Not me. This is like hot girl summer for me. Okay. Well, not really hot girl summer. This is like cougar summer for me, right? Is that what you call it? Cougar summer? All right, guys. So today we are going to be talking about, we're going to give a Carlee Russell update. We have a Carlee Russell update. We have some questions that still need to be answered. Hopefully Ced stays on because maybe he can help us with some of this stuff, but we'll see. We're also going to talk about the mysterious death of Obama's chef, Tarcari Campbell. At first, I promised I was going to stay away from this one. I said, okay, I'm not going to get involved in this. I'm going to try to avoid the conspiracy theory trying to pull me in, but y'all, I couldn't stop. Okay? Because there's just too much weird stuff going on with this situation. Too much weird stuff. I'm over here trying to look up how deep this pond is that he drowned in, y'all. And tell me it's not weird that miraculously, when you go look at the like the city information about the pond, that the one piece of information that is blank is how deep is the pond? Because from what I can tell from all the articles I've read, this pond ain't very deep. Okay, so tell me how somebody can drown in it, especially somebody who's 6 feet tall. Actually, the brother looks like he's about 6'3". Okay, because I saw a video of him swimming in a swimming pool very well, I might add, and he looks 6'3". Okay, but we'll get into that. I also want to get into talking about this Hunter Biden plea deal getting rejected. I thought that was interesting to say the least. I think the Democrats and Hunter Biden probably thought they had this in the bag. But, you know, I'm here for this fair play because, you know, Trump's getting sent to court with his situation. So I think the same should apply across the board, right? We believe in equal justice across the board. You should not be exempt from the rules because you are a Biden or a Trump or whatever the fact may be. You should be subject to the same rules that everybody else is. All right. And then we're going to talk about an interesting clip that Soonie and I saw from the Patrick David show. If you guys watch that podcast, the Patrick David podcast, he interviewed Anthony Weiner. Now, if you guys don't remember who Anthony Weiner is, he was wrapped up in all sorts of scandal with Hillary Clinton and his Weiner. Funny that that's his last name, but you know, he was doing some pretty inappropriate things with minors and showing his private parts on the internet and on text messages. And he said something very interesting on the Patrick David show when he was asked about Hillary. So we're going to talk about that. Then we're going to talk about this comment made. I don't remember who made the comment, but and what this woman does, but her name is Jess Hilarious. I don't know if she's a reality TV star or she's a rapper or whatever, but she made an interesting comment about women owning menstruation and other female things. And we kind of like really liked the clapback that she gave because she didn't say that women didn't, well, she said that women did own it. There was some LGBTQ wannabe woman who said we didn't own it as real women. We didn't own that stuff. So we're going to talk about that. Then we're going to talk about young Miami taking her son to Rolling Loud and doing something that I didn't think she would do after we talked about her last week. And she said her daughter wasn't going to grow up to be no city girl. Well, I guess different rules apply for her son. And, you know, we don't just talk about Black ratchet women on this show. I actually found a story that highlights some white ratchet women in the celebrity sphere. So we're going to talk about that as well, because I thought it was pretty ratchet. Anyways, I see Soonie in the back room, so she's getting set up right now. She'll be on here in just a second. What did Judy say? Judy said not only that, but his board was floating. Well, yeah. Okay. So we'll talk about it more when Soonie gets on here. I paddleboard myself, and I find it really hard to believe unless this guy had like a stroke or like a, what is it called? When your brain just, God, what is it? Not a blood clot, aneurysm, right? When it's just like literally lights out for you. I find it hard to believe that, number one, he couldn't grab the board or he wasn't secured by his ankle strap that's usually attached to paddle boards, didn't have a flotation device on. The buddy he was with didn't bother to help him. It's all very strange. And that's why I couldn't stay away from it. And Soonie and I were talking about it last week. Here she is, or last night. We were talking about it and she's like, Mo, I'm not getting into this conspiracy stuff. So I was like, okay, here you go. I'm going to send you all this information so that I can suck you in.
No. Conspiracy theory land is not my destination.
Yeah.
I tried, but I couldn't. Like I tried. I was like, yeah, this is.
Oh, can't do this. After everything I sent you, you still couldn't get into it?
No. Just didn't go down.
Okay. Well, you're going to have to defend yourself.
Defend myself.
Yes. You're going to have to defend why you are not going down this rabbit hole with me.
It's boring. There's like nothing stimulating my mind there. It's just a bunch of. It's like tabloid news. I don't like that shit. It's boring.
You don't like tabloid news.
You go look at No, I really don't. You look at tabloid news when you're standing in line at the grocery store waiting for your stuff to get rung up. Like there is no validity to this story. It's just a bunch of people speculating.
No validity? Tabloid news. Okay.
No.
You wanted to talk about young Miami.
Because that's comparing. That's a repeal the 19th moment. That's not tabloid news. That's her comparing. That's her saying she's going to raise her daughter a certain way and then letting her son throw ones at a stripper.
But
that's
this
not
is
tabloid news.
But this is a put Obama and Hillary in jail for like offing everybody.
But it's
story.
never going to happen. So why even talk about it?
I have faith. I have faith.
That's what happens in my brain. Is anything going to come of this?
She's so long.
No.
Buzzkill.
You said I'm a what?
You're a buzzkill. You're so logical. It's a buzzkill.
I'm sorry.
Yo, did you see? Because I'm only bringing this up because Judy brought it up, or Amy. Wait, yeah, Judy brought it up. Did you see this dude, McConnell, just
Yeah, I
like
watched the videos you sent.
zoning out?
Yeah, I'm
Like
waiting
that
for
was
conservatives to say he's brain dead.
well, something clearly happened to him because he fell. I don't remember when this was, but apparently he fell and hit his head pretty hard. Um, but there was like a TikTok video like where they like zoomed in on his face and like you see his, when he's talking, his eyes are normal, but then like the minute he freezes, his eyes start to kind of like float upwards and you can see the pupils of his eyes shaking. And generally, like I don't know if you've ever gotten stopped for like a sobriety test, but I have been stopped for a sobriety, like at a checkpoint, like on New Year's Eve, like where everybody gets it randomly, basically.
Oh, random. Okay.
Yeah, it was like a random one. And so like they shine the light in your eye. And I was asking the police officer, I was like, why do you do that? Like, because who can see with the light in their eye? And he's like, well, actually, we're looking for a response from your pupil, like it's shake, because it'll like shake side to side. And that's kind of
Yeah.
what his eyes were doing. It was making this really weird, like shaky thing. So maybe the cameras flashing, triggered something. I don't know. But it it's like a nursing home up there between him, Biden, Dianne Feinstein. Like it's like a nursing home up there. They need to cut those three loose. They need to go hook up to an
Yeah,
oxygen
all those people need to retire. Like
for sure.
today. Not yesterday, but today. Go ahead and
Yeah.
retire. They're old, decrepit, and dead.
Right. R.I.P. Sinead O'Connor. Yeah.
Who is
Pretty
that?
sad. Sinead O'Connor, she was like that bald lady that sang that song Nothing Compares to You.
Oh.
Yeah. Her son committed suicide a year ago, I think. And she said she couldn't live without him. So she ended it. She was a little weird though. She was a little weird. Me too weird.
Sounds pretty weird.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty weird. I can.
Yeah.
If I do say so myself.
Right. Gang.
What up, Sergeant Larson? How you doing?
Yeah, Sergeant Larson.
Sorry, I'm like, my schedule is hectic. Between gymnastics, soccer, trying to do social media, trying to keep my house clean. Women, this is a key point right here. You cannot have it all. Something suffers. And you know what's been suffering? My hair. I have not done my hair. I have not touched my hair. It's been in a permanent bun for like this entire summer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even get dressed anymore. What's the point?
I know.
I
think when I'm in those moments, like you said, like when you have so much going on, I think, yeah, like probably my looks are
they suffer.
Like I won't wash my hair.
My husband's like, babe, how come you're not wearing your hair down? And I was like, Kyle, it's humid. He said, oh, I forgot. I knew what he was saying. He's like, girl,
right.
What you doing?
Yeah.
Yesterday.
That was like a hint.
Hint. It really was. Yesterday, he was like, he said, because the kids finished summer school. He's like, I'm really proud of you. Good job. Like, good job. You bodied it. And he was like, you feel accomplished, don't you? Because yesterday, I was just done. I was ready to go to bed. I didn't want to talk. I was like, yep. Okay. I'm tapped out, y'all. I am actually excited for school to start back up. So excited. Because this is a lot. Shout out to the moms who do homeschooling 24/7. I'm going to be doing it back home.
Yeah.
And shout out to the housewives, bro. We are built for this. Not every woman can juggle all this and then manage time to make sure shit works. Just saying.
Do all your kids do sports right now?
All of my children are in sports.
Yeah, I could never. I'm sorry.
All of them. And they go to different parts of the island for their practices. Like my daughters are in cheer camp now. They're working on cheerleading. My youngest child just earned a spot on a competitive team. My son is on the soccer team. My son also plays football. He also plays tackle football. And then my husband, who is just as sporty, just tore his bicep playing softball. It's been
Mm.
crazy.
See, that's not it. See, that's the benefit sometimes if you don't have like an athletic child, but you have like a studious child. Those children stay home. Like those children stay. So shoot for your kid. Shoot for your kids to be studious, not athletic. Just joking. Athletics are great. I totally think it's an important thing for every kid to be involved either in athletics or music or something extracurricular. Totally
They need to be
important.
doing something. They've been
Yeah.
busy this summer, so I'm
Yep.
happy.
Yeah, cool. All right, Soonie, we'll take a breather. What do you want to do? You want to talk about something easy? Like, what do you want to talk about? What do you want to start with?
Let's just dive right in. I don't need
Dive
nothing easy.
right in. Okay.
Dive in.
So let's dive in with Carlee Russell. How about that?
Oh Lord Jesus, take the wheel.
We diving in. We diving in.
Oh man. See, we should I wish we had a whole team, right? That can just go and pull a flashback for us so we can see my original reaction. This is ratchet. I have never seen nothing like this ever outside of a goddamn movie. Have you ever seen anything like this?
I know. Okay, you called it ratchet
Yes.
at the beginning, and I was just like, I don't know if it's ratchet as much as it's just like unbelievable that you can get away with this now. Like you can literally be sitting in the comfort of your home after staging your own kidnapping, admitting you lied to everybody, and you still at home.
At home though.
Right?
At home.
Like,
Dude.
dude.
You know why it's ratchet? This is why I say it's ratchet.
Why?
It's because the family. It's the boyfriend's family, her family. They're like posting stuff going back and forth on the internet. And I'm going to pray for Carlee and her mind because she ain't right. And my brother this and my brother that. And this hoe ain't saying shit. Her lawyer's like, yep, charges are coming.
Now
her family, her mama ain't came. You said your daughter was kidnapped. This is ratchet. I don't care what nobody say. This is some ratchet niggatry. That's what that is.
You know what? So now she has 2 lawyers. Okay. She's taken on 2 lawyers now. Okay. But one of the shows that I watch, shout out to JLR podcast on YouTube. So he is going hard in Alabama right now, like talking to neighbors, like walking the back areas of the woods, trying to figure out where he is now even proposed the theory that because Carlee Russell's mom was a real estate agent and Carlee may have had access to the codes, to get into like doors and stuff like that, that maybe she stole her mom's, codes to get into doors because there's all these new developments in that area where she basically fled and hid. Because they're like, there's no way somebody was out here 48 hours in the darkness, okay, with toilet paper and a robe from a spa and some Cheez-Its, right? So not only that, okay, but he has also brought up an interesting question because he was like, Carlee called not her mom and her dad, not 911, but his brother's girlfriend first. That was the first call she made before she called 911. Or I'm sorry, maybe she called No. She called 911 first and then she called the girlfriend, right? Because I was going back to the parents' interview where they were talking about it. And just to make sure, yes, that's what she said, that she was on the phone with the girlfriend. So now they're like, okay, was she in on this? Like, was she somehow helping? Because, what they're finding hard to believe is that she did all this solo. That's what's hard to believe. And I think that's what's taking the police so long to press charges. Because I think that they're trying to examine, were there any other people involved in this?
You think so?
At this point, I don't know. The parents sat up there. The mama cried. The daddy looked like a lost puppy.
He was sitting there smiling.
And you knew by then, they knew. By then, they knew. By the time they did that interview, they knew.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Maybe. But what would they charge them with? See, this is a whole nother show. What would they even get charged with? Would it be like accessory?
I don't know.
Would it be like conspiracy? Like, what would the charge be?
I have no, I mean, I'm not a legal expert in Alabama on what type of charges.
I
Let
gotta
me
hit
see
up
if,
Uncle Sid and ask him.
well, he was watching earlier. I don't know if he's still in here.
We it's this is just sad. This is the ghetto version of Girl Gone, and she failed. You couldn't even pull it off.
Girl gone. That's what the ghetto version is.
Girl Gone. Yep,
She
that's
gone.
what happened.
Yeah.
This is sad though, and she wasted resources. I also heard that the money,
Not being returned.
Soonie's audio is all over the place, very low to her voice, being very loud.
Yeah,
Am I low?
it's not low, but like when you get close and then it sounds like you get close and get far.
Oh, is that better? Do I need to say right here? Let me cover my
Probably.
mouth. Can y'all hear me?
Put your lips on it. You know how they do in the recording
Pause.
studio?
Can y'all hear me now? Is this consistent? Yeah, pause. Put my lips on what? Excuse me,
On
ma'am.
the mic. You know when people are in the studio and they're like, they put their, anyway, your
you
mind
know
went
what-
there.
I'm giving. You know what? You
You're
know
giving me
what?
the reveal
Just
that
for
I-
the hell of it. Yep.
It's early. It's early for this.
It's early. Yes, better. Thanks. Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
What was I saying? I don't even remember what I
You
was
were-
saying. Let's move on.
You were talking about the donation money.
Oh yeah, why don't they have to give it back?
Well, let's see here what it says here. Crime Stopper. This is the latest updates. Okay, so this was 25 minutes
Pull it up
ago.
on the screen.
25 minutes ago. Okay, yeah, I'll pull it up on the screen.
25 minutes ago. Wow.
The latest of the latest.
Wow.
Okay, right here. Crime Stoppers of Metro Alabama will be refunding the $63,378 that was donated. We are releasing all the funds, executive director said. We're basing that
Okay.
on the statements made at the news conference. So, just so people know, though, this headline of them not refunding it was a little bit misleading because during my show yesterday, I went on to Crime Stoppers website and you can actually request a refund. So what they weren't doing
Okay.
was doing like a full on, like releasing all the funds back at once.
Okay.
But obviously, if you were like contacted them and you're like, I want an individual refund, they would have done it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I can't talk shit. Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Now
I
look
wanted
at
to
this.
talk crap.
Advocates urge others to not let Carlee Russell case impact future missing people. I don't understand why they keep saying
Why do they
this.
keep doing that? It won't.
Why?
That's
won't.
like them. Why would they then cast doubt on every other black woman just because this black woman did it? That makes
Right.
no. See, I'm not moving the conversation, but I do want to compare.
Mhm.
You know, these advocates come out in droves for missing black women, childbirth, black women dying at childbirth.
Mhm.
But these advocates don't come out for young black children missing. There's a lot of little black kids missing.
Little ones, yeah. Mhm.
I'm not saying like, look, fuck women, but where's the like? How come we don't have equal outrage? It just seems like when adults go missing, it's like this major thing, and when kids go missing, unless it's some sort of polarizing story, it doesn't take over the airwaves. Like there have been 5 children found dead due to their parents killing them in the last week and a half. The
Right.
stories that I've been watching, and that hasn't hit mainstream media news or national news. I don't know. I just wonder why
Yeah.
don't we highlight those at all?
I don't know, but I kind of feel like they're trying to convince people that, you know, if this happens ever again, that there's going to be less credibility given. How about just not have a stupid whack ass story with holes in it? You know what I mean? Like that's all you need to do. Like seriously, like I highly doubt if you call 911 that the first thing, no matter what state you're in, the first thing they're going to think of, oh, this must be another Carlee Russell. You know what I mean?
That's facts. Yeah.
No, they're going
How
to
do
jump
you-
into action. That's stupid.
Once again, it's an indictment on people. It's an indictment on a bunch of people saying that they're this way, but they can't take it when the shoe's on the other foot.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
it's
We
crazy.
live in crazy times.
It's crazy, but I do want to see her. I said yesterday they need to throw not just the book, but they need to throw the entire bookshelf at her, because if anything, this needs to teach people that you can't do this and get away with it. Like there's going to
Right.
be stiff consequences. People are saying, oh, well, she can maybe do like a rehabilitation, like
No,
learn your lesson type of thing.
she has to go to
You,
jail.
yeah. You wanted to go bye-bye? We'll send you bye-bye.
Exactly. Go missing for real. Have fun.
Yeah,
I see
exactly.
you in a couple months, and then people will be like, "Oh, Carly's back. Yeah,
Carly's
she
back.
back.
She
Back
back.
for sure."
She back. Oh man. Okay. Let's talk about okay, people are talking about this. Let me talk about this really quick, the Hunter Biden thing.
Oh
Because
God,
that's popping up in the comments, and we need to give the people what they want.
y'all like some stupid news. I tell you,
Are
I ain't got nothing to say about Hunter. I'm praying for Hunter and Joe.
you?
I am. I pray for everybody. I ain't gotta like you.
Why specifically are you praying for Hunter and Joe?
Because Hunter's an addict,
Mhm.
and I have a bunch of addicts in my family. So there's times where I have a soft spot, and there's times where I'm just like, bro, you're not shit.
Mm.
And his father's Joe Biden.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, that
if
sucks.
we complain about Joe Biden, I can only imagine how he feels having to live with Joe Biden. So I do feel bad for his
Yeah.
kids. And
Mm.
Joe's old. And he's going through dementia. And
Mhm.
the mall is open, but ain't nobody shopping. So I pray for his soul because I don't want anybody to go to hell.
I think in this case he deserves to go to hell because I've seen him in pictures with little kids in front of his genitals, and that's pure unacceptable evil to me. So this man does not get my prayers. I don't care how tough his life was in his head, or who his father is. When I see you in a bed naked with little kids, gloves off for
Yeah, I
me.
didn't look at that. So
Yeah.
I found it odd that people even looked at the contents of that desktop or that laptop. And
I
people were
did.
sharing it.
Yeah.
That's distributing child porn. So I didn't
Yeah.
look at it.
I did look at it and it was really disturbing. Now they were blurred out images, but you could see that it was clearly a child, and it was just ridiculous. All right. So, as the story states, the judge declines to approve Hunter Biden's plea deal for now. That is the key word here, for now, because this could very well come back. So, he made it clear that the judge, who is a Trump appointed judge, made it clear that she viewed the deal between the president's son and federal prosecutors an outside of the norm case. Hunter Biden's plea deal hit a roadblock during an unexpected contentious federal court hearing Wednesday as prosecutors and his attorneys disagreed about the scope of the agreement, and the judge then balked at approving the deal. Tensions grew, and after pressing both sides for details about the plea deal, U.S. District Judge Marilyn Noriega adjourned the hearing so that the two sides could refine and clarify the agreement. So she adjourned it without making a decision, really. Like, so, she's allowing them to go back and fix it, right? And come back with something else. So, under which Biden had planned to plead guilty to 2 misdemeanor tax offenses and likely avoid punishment on a felony gun charge. So, I believe that was the gun that he obtained by lying and falsifying information on his gun application. Basically, he was on drugs, and you're not supposed to be on drugs when you fill out a gun application. It was a 3-hour hearing. Biden wound up pleading not guilty to all 3 charges, and the judge postponed further proceedings, likely for another month or more. Either way, I think he's going to go to court, just like Trump is going to court. I think that needs to happen because what went down with this, and it's funny that he's got the charges that he has. Meanwhile, they gave Trump literally a charge for every little mistake he did in one actual offense, right? So it's like the equivalent of getting in a car accident, and instead of charging you for reckless driving, they're charging you for damage to a wheel, damage to a bumper, damage to a door, damage to a mirror, damage to a window. That's what they're doing with Trump. And with Biden, they're like, you got a little bumper, you got a little fender bender, it was a hit and run. It's no comparison to how they're treating Trump versus how they're treating Hunter. But it'll be interesting, nonetheless, to see how that plays out. Yeah. Soonie's like, who gives a it's important.
Hey, look, if people want to, hold on to these discussions, then hold on to them. I won't be partaking because there's nothing that's ever going to come of this. So why would I waste my brain power, time, and energy discussing charges that will never come? I don't understand why anybody gives this life. I really don't. I think it's stupid.
I think it's the same reason or the same way I feel about discussions about racism. Like I feel like those conversations don't go anywhere. Not that they can't go somewhere, but they don't go anywhere. I feel the same way. So I feel you, girl. I feel you. You pick the next subject.
I'm trying to. Sorry.
Or
I had this clip pulled up of Anthony Weiner versus
oh yeah,
Patrick Bet Davis, but I can't find it. So it's okay. It's all right. We'll find it on. It was like 48 minutes in where they're questioning him about, his. Okay, here it is. I found it. So Anthony Weiner went on Valuetainment, which is Patrick Bet Davis. I don't know if you guys watch him. He's got an awesome platform on YouTube. And he did an interview with him. And this is probably the most disgusting, disturbing interview that I have ever saw. I'm just going to play a few parts of it. I'm not going to say anything. I want people to hear who's free and who still has a bit of influence to even be on this fucking show. I'm glad he did the show because it exposes how disgusting this country really is when it comes to perverted adults and children.
Then we put the New York Times in a much more nuanced explanation, and nuance is where I think we should live. These are complicated things.
What nuance? What nuance?
They quoted something.
We put you bring the clip back up because English is my fifth language, but I just want to read this again to make it very clear.
This can't be good radio, but go ahead.
Yeah, this can't be a radio station that most of your listeners are a week away from dying. So I don't know how many people are listening to
they're all
wow.
Respect them and honor them.
It's your show.
I gotta pause this because I don't need you coming over here trying to get some money from me. I'm just using it for a clip.
I respect them and honor.
Wrap this up.
I am not dismissive of people when they're old.
You know what? When Rap told me, Pat, Anthony Weiner agreed to do this podcast, I said, okay. I said, I got to respect that the fact that he's at least coming down. There's a lot of people right now. We're about to do a town hall. I believe we're doing a town hall here with Vivek in 2 weeks. We're doing a town hall where pretty much every candidate's been invited to do a town hall. And audience will be able to ask questions. I respect anybody that's willing to go and sit down. For example, Newsom went to Hannity and sat down with Hannity. Okay.
I've been on Hannity a ton.
Yeah, you got DeSantis, which, by the way, was very interesting. Your last interview with him a year ago when he asked you a question, how much has changed with you? And have you changed all the stuff in your life? And your answer was,
listen to the shit.
I think so. It's the audience decision to judge. That was kind of a weird answer when you said that.
Well, if you want to, first of all, instead of characterizing it,
you want me to play it for you?
If you want to play it, if you want to play it,
go ahead and play it. Let's play it and let's react.
I'm not. But if you want to go back,
I don't want to go back.
We're kind of all over the map here, but go ahead. I'll be glad to go. I don't.
But I got one last.
On WABC Radio in New York, they are exploring the left-right divide and major issues afflicting New York City and beyond. One of the co-hosts is former New York Congressman Anthony Weiner. He spent 18 months in confinement for sexting with a 15-year-old girl. He was released in 2019. He says he's ready to answer tough questions about his own life, the challenges facing the country. He's joining now our friend Curtis Sliwa with a new show, their co-host, The Left versus the Right. Anthony Weiner, thank you for being with us. Curtis Sliwa, always good to see you, my friend.
Real quick, who in their right mind would work with him on anything related to politics, the right versus the left, after he was just caught and openly admitted to sexting a 15-year-old child?
Right. Somebody who's
Why?
probably doing the same thing.
Disgusting.
Leslie Woodward. Yep.
I guess the first question that I have is, you pled guilty, Anthony, to sending obscene materials to a young girl, a 15-year-old girl. You pled guilty, you served jail time. Have you changed? Are you a different person?
God damn it. Fucking ads.
What's that? Oh, I was like, what is that? You playing a game on the side?
Well, I think so. I don't think anyone can go through
Hold
that
on.
kind of experience.
I know it paused. Listen to the question you was asked, bro. Hell no, this nigga's bugging.
My friend, I guess the first question that I have is, you pled guilty, Anthony, to sending obscene materials to a young girl, a 15-year-old girl. You pled guilty, you served jail time. Have you changed? Are you a different person?
Well, I think so. I don't think anyone can go through that kind of experience. And I think this is probably true of people who
I
have
think so.
been through other types of
think so.
adversity. I don't think you go through that type of experience and don't emerge changed.
Well, but Anthony, wait a minute.
So
That's
I think it's fairly
Anthony,
obvious.
That's an obscure answer. I think so. Either you know in your heart if you changed, or you know in your heart if you didn't change. Can you assure people, because you're going to now try and draw in an audience, and they're going to want to know if you changed or not. Have you changed?
They can judge for themselves.
Does this sound like a guy who's no longer texting children in a sexual way?
Right.
Why is he free?
Why is he even relevant is what I'm asking. Like, why is this
I have
coming?
no clue why anybody's interviewing him. No idea.
Right. Well, see, they know, and there's a reason why. Like, because they're not just like, oh, he wants to talk about this stuff. Let's bring something is gonna be brewing. Just wait. Just wait.
It gets better. It's almost over, y'all.
Okay.
I'm sorry?
I said they can judge for themselves. I'm not out to persuade you or anyone else that I've changed. I mean, I'm doing a radio show and people can call in and ask me questions. We did one this past Saturday where people had an opportunity to call in and
pause it.
we're
You said you want to react to it?
No, you were characterizing it. So rather than you characterize it.
Was I pretty accurate on characterizing it, or was I a little off?
I'd be honest with you.
Got it. I just want to make sure I'm
Wow.
pretty accurate.
Would it be fair to say you stand by that statement? Do you think you have changed? Dude, I didn't know those allegations. Those are heinous allegations. Have you changed?
Well, we have a nuanced relationship with the notion of change in addiction, that we believe that you don't stop being an addict, that every day you've got to take your medicine. It's no different than being an epileptic, that once you know you have the disease, you've got to take your medication.
I'm not going to play anymore because he's making excuses for being a pedophile. A disease? It's not a disease.
And
don't ever characterize that shit as disease.
Here's what he's conflating, right? So in addition to the 15-year-old that he was sending pictures of his dick to, he was also posing online as a guy named Carlos Danger, and he was sending explicit photos to women who are 22, 21 on Twitter as well. So he's basically trying to write this off as he has a sex addiction, like an adult sex addiction. That's totally different from you are interested in little kids, my friend. Totally different.
Absolutely. You can't even say if you changed or not. That's insane.
Flat out.
If I were to ask someone, are you changed? Absolutely. I'm still dealing with this, but I have changed and I was wrong for what I did.
Yeah.
You're sit there quiet. He's dismissive. It's just like, why are you asking me this? How many times do I have to go through this? For the rest of your natural born life, bitch, you went after a child. Mm-hmm. Why do these people think just because they serve their time? This is not a regular crime. This is not you stealing. This is not you, in some cases, self-defense murder. You sexted a 15-year-old child and sent them your schlong. Mm-hmm. And you did it multiple times, bro. You don't ever get to live that down.
He didn't even do serious time.
These people never do.
he did 3 years, I think, if that, 2 years maybe in prison, and then he did 3 months in a halfway house, and all he had to do was register as a sex offender.
This goes to show you that it's not about your race, bro. It's socioeconomic status. It's who you know, and it's how much money you have.
Mm.
I was screaming at the phone. I was like, "You nasty bleep 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 bleep." My husband's laughing at me. I'm like, "Yo, this is disgusting, dude. How are you free?
Yeah.
Why hasn't anyone killed you yet?" And yes, I said it. Why is this man not dead?
You know, this is where that's why I'm interested in why he's even being talked about or interviewed, because his wife, her name was Huma Abedin, and she was a very, very like at the top aide to Hillary Clinton. Okay. So he had that weird connection there. And also in that interview, they talked about Hillary Clinton, and just like he did his disgusting fetish for little kids, he kind of like wrote off what Hillary did as just like no big deal. Like this guy thinks nothing is a big deal. Nothing. He when they were talking about his sex crimes and the Hillary stuff, he literally was like, "Yeah, but that's dated. That's dated news."
Yeah, he did say that. That's old.
Like he just wrote that shit off. Being put out there and he has no choice but to say this shit because number one, they are pushing pedophilia like hotcakes, okay, on people and making all that shit seem normal, right? So what a great time to send a pedophile out onto Fox News and onto major platforms, okay, and just sit here and go, no big deal. Like you can get better, you can get, you can be reformed.
Wow.
Think about that. And then at the same time defend Hillary.
Yeah, Hillary did nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with that. There is this sense of like protecting pedophiles and well, they have a mental condition, a mental illness.
Mm-hmm.
No, it went from pedophile to minor attracted people. What the fuck is that?
Right.
You're a pedophile. Pedophile has a negative connotation behind it. We're not going to be switching names to make them seem like more of a victim. I'm very sensitive about this topic. I don't like it. I do not like hearing about children being harmed. And I don't like when we get to watch individuals who have harmed children sit on platforms, make money, and function in society.
Run the country.
Run the country. That's what a slap in the face to all children who have ever experienced molestation. Mm-hmm. It is the worst thing that you can ever experience. Your innocence is gone. Your life is forever changed, even when you're an adult. And it gets 20 times worse if you have children and they're girls. I don't play, bro. I hate this shit. I hate it. It's disgusting.
Yeah. It is disgusting.
Anyways, can we get to some lighter news of someone who actually stood up for women?
Yeah, I think this is an interesting topic for sure. I love that she said this.
Jess Hilarious. If you guys don't know who she is a comedian, really popular in the Black circuit. She does skits with her and her son and sometimes her boyfriend. And she's funny. Sometimes she's funny. Other times I'm like, all right, you're doing too much. But I came across this video where she said, who stands up for us and what the F you mean we don't own womanhood and menstruation? Now, this is an ongoing discussion between trans and actual real women. I have to be careful with my words because YouTube does not care about free speech.
But do you have the video of what she's responding to?
I cannot find that. She's not responding to T.S. Madison, and I'll get into who that is. Okay. She's responding to a random trans person who said that women don't own menstrual cycles. If you could find that,
I have it.
Roll it. You have it?
I have it.
Let's play that first. Let's play that part first. There we go.
Oops.
When the transphobia just comes out, the audacity and just the arrogance for cis women to believe that they own, period, that they own womanhood. You don't.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't own periods. You don't own womanhood. You experience both, and both are different for every person. But as a cis woman, it doesn't belong to you, so you can't gatekeep it. Like, hello, this is what I mean.
So, just to be clear for all y'all who are easily fooled, and it says this up here, trans woman. This is a trans man. This is a man dressed as a trying to transition as a. I hate the way they put this trans woman. It's not a woman. This is a trans man.
Yep. So it's apparently transphobic to say that only women get their periods, and only women can experience womanhood. Now, this sent me through the motherfucking roof so hard that I went live 3 times that one day, and I battled people in Discord for the hell of it, because feminism and feminists suck. You freaking suck.
Right.
There is no protection for children, clearly, and there's no protection for women. They're allowed to come in our bathrooms and flash our children. They're allowed to flash us. They're allowed to say that they have periods. They're allowed to steal our motherfucking uteruses, and I can't even get mine taken out. I have to beg my doctor friend to take out my uterus, but you can get one put in because you're crazy as shit. I was so happy when I saw another Black woman speak up, because I'm going to be honest. We are the gatekeepers of this LGBTQ bullshit. We really are. We support it in droves. Women in general, but I'm going to be honest. Black women, we really support that shit.
Yeah.
Really. So when Jess Hilarious spoke out, I decided I'm going 10 toes down for her, because this is true. We need more women speaking like this.
Hello. Who the fuck is gonna stand up for us? Who the fuck stands up for us? And us, I mean women, real women, biological women, women who were born with all the parts that you guys wish that you were. When does the delusion stop? What is the difference between you and someone who has been diagnosed to be mentally insane? What's the only difference is you don't have a straitjacket on. Stop talking out your fucking ass. Wake up. How are you projecting your anger on real women? Because we are the gatekeepers. We are the gatekeepers for periods. We the only one that fucking bleed, honey. We the only ones that can give birth. We make y'all people. We make y'all. Y'all come from us. You can't be us. You will never. You're chasing something you'll never, ever get. You'll never be that.
Why is she being attacked? Why? She stated a fucking fact.
And what are the attackers saying to her?
So the attackers are calling her transphobic. There are so many real women, and I'll pull it up. There are so many real women, in quotations, as if we're not women. And by the way, this is a transsexual right here on the screen. There's so many real women that get mistaken for transgender women. And that's where a lot of the anger comes from. I do hope they take a good look at how transphobia affects us all. Now, this part of the argument is being brought in because Jess Hilarious was mistaken for a transgender, and she told the story on a podcast. So it's not, she wasn't even responding to T.S. Madison. She was responding to the weirdo who said that we don't own periods, which we do. So why T.S. Madison felt the need to come out is just beyond me.
Right.
She's disappointed because how can you speak this way about trans people when you get mistaken for one? Because women are tired, bro. The women who aren't feminists, the women who don't walk around with this woe is me attitude and literally just function in society and mind our own business, we are now being attacked for saying a literal truth. You don't bleed.
Right. And what real woman
period?
What real woman is fighting over periods? Baby, you can have them. Okay. This is how I know. This is how I know you're not a woman, when you fighting to own them. Okay. Because I would I had to have a whole uterus taken out just to be rid of it. Okay. Just to be rid of it. And not that I don't love the fact that my body can create life, but listen, I had my children, those days are gone. I was blessed enough to be able to provide a home for a beautiful baby. But I was done with it. Okay. I didn't need it anymore. So you could take the uterus, take the periods. I'm done with it. If you're sitting here wanting that shit, something's wrong with you. Teresa, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. We appreciate you so much.
Listen,
man, this is crazy.
So, of course, women are coming into the comment section being like, first of all, respectfully, I'm going to have to disagree. She wasn't talking about being mistaken for a man. This is once again, these weirdos feeling they need their 15 minutes of fame to constantly talk about being a goddamn victim. You're not a victim. You made the choice to attach titties to yourself and walk around like a weirdo.
Yeah.
So this woman is saying she's not talking about being mistaken for a man. She's talking about that man saying that women don't own their periods. That is honestly just crazy because we most certainly do. And T.S. Madison says, I'm speaking of her always having a tone towards transgender women. And she's admitted to being mistaken for one on many occasions. What does that have to do with women being the only sex, gender, identity, whatever the fuck you want to call it? We are the only ones that bleed.
Right.
That is a fact. It is biology. Why are we arguing about this? Why are y'all going after Jess Hilarious for saying the truth?
The truth.
It's the truth. You don't bleed.
You know what else? Okay. Why is it trans men are the ones causing all these problems and like acting this way? But do you see any like butch chicks, or I really don't see a whole lot of trans women, right? Like women trying to be men and like trying to be out there and trying to be seen. You know what I mean? Like, do you hear them talking about we need to own boners and we need to, I mean, what else do men get? Do we need to own standing up and peeing? I mean, I guess maybe guys don't have much to provide. But they're not trying to own it. They're not trying to own anything that guys do. It's always these men trying to attack biological women.
Now, this is T.S. Madison. This right here, guys, is a trans man. This is a man.
So scary.
It's not a woman. It's a man.
I would never know. That's scary.
He openly states, I got titties at the top and dick at the bottom. He brags about this. This guy is a porn star. Okay? Just hilarious. Now, let's be honest. Are we ready to be super honest? Women are going to get mad at me, but it is what it is. When you put on pounds of makeup and you put on a wig that is out of this world and you throw on them eyelashes, you can't be mad if a man don't know. You're not even in your natural state for them to be able to determine what the fuck you are. In 2023, women need to understand, because we have these people who exist that want to look like us, we are going to be mistaken, especially when you put on that much freaking makeup.
Yeah.
That is a lot of makeup. Jess Hilarious, look at her. Where are your eyeballs?
Right.
Where are they?
You know what's weird is like in the makeup community, they actually call this a natural makeup look because they're not like using crazy. But here's the thing, like, because makeup is so amazing, okay? You cannot tell. I can tell because I'm into makeup. And PS, I have a full face of makeup on right now, you guys. A full face. And I can tell you she's probably got triple, quadruple the times amount of makeup I have on my face on her face. That is a thick face of makeup right there. And when you see, like Soonie said, the eyelashes looking like nobody's eyelashes look like that. Okay. Nobody's eyebrows are literally waxed to their head. Nobody's hairline looks like that, especially if you're black. Okay. Your hair does not look like that. The jig is up. We know. But I'll tell you what, the one on the left, she could fool me because I think she looks more womanly than the one that's actually a woman. I'm just going to say it. Looks, okay? Not is. And the BBLs are another problem.
Hey, I'm going to defend Jess because she deserves to be defended. We own periods. I don't care what y'all say. I bleed every month. And for one day out of every month, I have no sanity. None. I am a girl. When I tell you I'm a girl, my ovaries hurt. I was so insulted that I went back and pulled up an old video of 2 transgenders, white men, pretending to have cramps.
What?
Rolling on the bed. Ugh, I hate it. Not even playing, bro. Like, you are not. What do you feel? What do you feel?
Dude,
You
exactly.
explain it to me, because we can't even explain it to each other as women. It's like, bro, this hurts.
Dude, I feel like it feels like your pubic bones are being like pulled
Ripped
apart. That's what cramps feel like. Like pulled, like slowly, but like somebody's got a grip on them, on the bone, like on the pubic bone.
Wait, forget that. Talk about the hips. You can't even lay down straight.
And you just want to cry, and you can't crawl up into a ball enough. Like you just think, oh, if I get my body like tight enough into a ball, it'll be okay. And it's just not.
No. They
It's just
want
not.
periods, and real women are like, take it away.
Right. Take it away.
Just think of that for a second, y'all. We
Right.
don't want our periods. We don't even want our uteruses after it. There is no need for me to have
After we
uterus.
have no
I've had
use for
children.
them. We have no use for them. Yeah.
Take it out.
Yeah.
Real
Dude,
women. Oh my God.
I would love a tranny man to tell me what it feels like to have your period.
I've already gone through that in Discord. There was a whole man, and Fam is in here. There was a whole man who said, we are cis women, and he considers himself a woman.
Wait, Soonie, why are you still holding yourself?
Cause, bro.
Soonie's still over there holding herself. She's like,
I'm rocking, I know. Because this is very stressful, dude.
She's
It
having
really
like flashbacks. Sooni's having like flashback cramp pain. She's like, oh God. Yeah, dude, that's how bad they are. That you just still want to keep holding yourself.
It's disrespectful. I'm tired. I'm so tired of these men. I'm so tired of men in this country. I'm tired of the ones who want to be us, and I'm tired of the ones who constantly fight us. I'm tired of the ones who generalize. I'm tired of the weak ones. Like, can the real men please stand up? Please.
Please, we will celebrate you over here. We will celebrate. We celebrate real men over here. I love a real man. You know that. Give me a toxic man. A toxic man. A toxic manly man.
I'm done. I need a break. When I am mentally tapped the out. I need a break, because this is just too much.
It's too much.
Yes, I know I said it. This segues into our next topic of, listen, we are going to create women, ladies. We are going to create a generation of men that hate us. In fact, we are raising a generation of men that hate us.
Mm-hmm.
Last week, we talked about Carisha, aka Young Miami, and how she wanted to raise her daughter. She don't want her daughter being a whole city girl. Remember that? Well,
I remember.
I was scrolling, doing what I normally do, scrolling and shit. And I saw that she let her son go to Rolling Loud. And I'm not going to play the video because I feel it is highly inappropriate. I'm just telling you now. I'm not playing the video.
Okay. Yeah, because it has a child in it.
He's throwing money at strippers. Mm-hmm. I'll put up the steal. But this is him surrounded by adults at his mother's show, where there is a girl on a pole doing all types of obscene things. And he's throwing ones at her. Now, somebody said, you're going to address this, and she said, my son at Rolling Loud having a ball backstage. Let's address it. The reason I'm bringing this up is because, is it cutting out for real?
Now it's good. It has like, it's not terrible. It's just like, it has like this like wave kind of sound every now and then.
I don't know why. I have to fix it. My sound.
Okay.
Can you hear me clearly now?
Yeah, it's bearable. We can hear you clearly.
Okay. The reason I'm bringing this up is because she doesn't want to raise her daughter in a certain light, which is not being a city girl. But she is allowing her son to grow an affinity for city girls. If it's not good enough for your daughter, then why is it good enough for your son?
Right.
I don't get it. He's not 6 years old. He's 10 years old. And I agree with this woman. He should not be throwing money at strippers, nor should he be out that late in an environment.
I love the comment.
With a bunch of adults. How, Sway? You just sat on a whole interview talking about how you want your daughter raised, but you're going to allow your son to just, here, take him, world.
But it almost seems like she was like posting that to like troll people in a way, because she was like, let's talk about it. She's like,
didn't post it. Someone else did.
Oh, somebody else posted that? Because I thought she said something like, my son at Rolling Loud.
She was responding to a comment.
So
that video was in JT. JT is her bandmate. They're in a rap group together.
Gotcha.
She was recording, well, look at my nephew having fun. And then someone else came in and was like, this is really what you're going to do? And she's been responding ever since. So, like, I don't know, bro. I don't know what the future is going to look like. I don't know if we're going to recognize it. I don't know. But it hurts me to see that women are okay with their sons being raised this way. But they want to protect their daughters. It's like women hate their sons so much so that they want to make them weak and tolerant, not actual strong men.
Yeah, I mean, I think in general, not just like with celebrities, and we'll talk about another celebrity that's, I feel like, messing up her children. Not just with celebrities, but like, I just go places in general and I just see the way mothers parent their children and leave their children unattended, allow their children to be around certain environments that are not environments that children should be around. I think mothers are doing a really bad job in general. Like, this woman just happens to be a public figure, so people know about her and they're going to talk about her, but she's not the only one. Like, this is happening in massive droves, in my opinion, of women who are not being good mothers. And why are they not being good mothers? They're allowing pop culture to raise their children and dictate, what they allow their kids to do because they don't want to be seen as like an uncool mom. No, thanks. My daughter's 20, almost 22. And I told her today, okay, we were getting ready to go to a pool, and I have a bunch of bathing suits. I have some more party bathing suits that are a little bit more cheekier in the back. And I said to her, is this showing too much butt? Like, we're just going to like the normal pool. You know what I mean? And she's like, I think you look cute. You look like you could be my sister. And I said, I'm not your sister. I'm your mother. I'm going to put on a more modest bathing suit, even with my 22-year-old daughter, right? I'm not trying to be seen as her friend and her party buddy. Like, we can go to the pool looking modest, right? So, yeah.
That's facts, though. Like, the fact that moms will leave the house like that with their daughter and take pride in looking like her sister,
right,
is that's. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a very judgmental parent. I feel like my way of parenting is the best way. And I look at everyone else like, what a shit parent you are. Like, to dress like that in front of your daughters, to leave that example for them, is very low. And I think the standard of being a mother has completely it's been diminished.
Right.
It doesn't mean what it used to mean. Like, for some reason, it was like when you were growing up, and this is me, my mom didn't play with me. She didn't play. Me and my mother don't get along, but she didn't play that shit. There was a standard. And if I didn't meet that standard, I knew it. She always told me, I'm not your friend. I'm not here to be your friend. I'm not here to make you feel good. Right. I'm here to raise you, and you can go off and do whatever you want when you're old enough. Right. But she was never my friend. Never.
Right.
The standard of being a mother is low.
Yeah. For me, you can make your own decision. Obviously, after a certain age, you can make your own decision. But I'm not going to stop being an example to you. I wasn't faking who I was to begin with. Like the example I gave you is who I am and who I would hope that you would want to be as a young woman. But yeah, I mean, those are things I still think about.
Crazy.
I guess
I'm
I'm
gonna run
kind
this
of a
clip
judgy
real
mom.
quick, y'all. I am judgy. I don't hide it.
I can
I
be judgy
really don't.
sometimes.
If your child is unruly and you're just like, oh, come here, calm
Yeah.
down. If you don't snatch his little ass up and tell him to sit down and act
Yeah.
right, I will judge.
Now you ain't gonna catch me at the pool in no burkini, okay? A little swimming suit that covers me from head to toe. We ain't
No,
doing
I
all
don't
that.
even do
Like,
that.
like Mo's still looking cute at the pool, but I'm not looking like a hoe at the pool. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. Here's the actual clip so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. This is her talking about her daughter.
I'm really a whore. Like I'm with a W. Like I'm a whore.
What if Summer comes to you as pretty as she is and says, Mom, I want to be a city girl?
She ain't gonna be no city girl.
Summer ain't allowed to be no city girl?
I want her raised totally different. Like I really want her to just be like, like level-headed, a school girl. I kind of was raised different, so I don't want to raise her up how I was raised. So, I'm a city girl. Ain't nothing wrong with it, but I don't want that for my daughter.
Parents, I'm a city girl and ain't nothing wrong with it, but I don't want that for my daughter. But I'm gonna let my son go to Rolling Loud with strippers in the building and throw ones so that he can grow up to want a fucking city girl like his mom, who openly admitted to being a whore. Next on the docket. I don't know what else we need to talk about. Repeal the 19th. I'm going to keep giving examples of how shitty women are in this country until people wake up. I know it's trendy to critique women, but I've been doing it for a minute. I'm an OG in this, bro. Y'all are trash. Quality of women today is in the goddamn trash. You're trash.
Let me share my story of I think is an example of shitty parenting. So Kristen Bell, who is married to Dax Shepard, both actors, she went on the Kelly Clarkson show and was talking about how she took her kids to Disneyland, and at Disneyland they have I forget the name of the restaurant, but it's like it's a secret club that you can belong to at Disneyland. And she's like, "Oh yeah, it's the only place where you can order alcohol in Disneyland because you can't get alcohol anywhere in Disneyland." Which surprises me, right? Because Disneyland will push pedophilia and sexuality onto your children all day, but God forbid you drink at Disneyland. So anyways, so she says to Kelly Clarkson that her daughters see her and her husband, drinking a beer at home. So when they go to restaurants, they order non-alcoholic beers. And her daughters are 8 and 9 years old. And I was just like, this is not okay.
Wow.
That's not okay. And it was funny, like the dynamic, right? You're watching that interview versus like you're watching the Hollywood Unlocked interview, how they talk about it versus how Kelly Clarkson's interviewing Kristen Bell. And she's like, that's so cute. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. I hate to bring up like the race comparison, but there is a very distinct way you see Black women get interviewed versus white women getting interviewed when it comes to talking about these types of things. Like what they say get in her case got written off completely as a joke. Now it's a headline.
Exactly.
It's a headline, but when you go and watch the interview, if you would have seen the interview and not read the headline, you wouldn't even have been really shocked by it because you would have gone along with the laughter and the, oh, ha, 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 she's, she's kind of semi-joking. She's not really pushing drinking on her children, but that's not okay. That's not okay, especially since her husband, Dax Shepard, is a recovering addict. Wow. So they already have addiction in their blood. And they're just laughing that off. I don't think that's funny.
I'm gonna have to agree with you. There is a like we brought this up on the last Repeal the 19th edition when we were like struggling. How do you explain why there is such a different reaction? Well, one is Black, one is white. That doesn't mean that you're racist. It just means that you bought into a stereotype.
Right.
And Black women are judged more harshly. Let's just keep it stacked. I'm sitting here going in on Carisha. And I know I've saw other conservative influencers go in on Carisha for her sentiments. but no one's talking about Kristen Bell because she's the cute blonde. And what would
Mhm.
she do to her children?
Right.
Well, clearly she's giving her daughter, what do you call it? A
Non-alcoholic beer.
non-alcoholic beer. Now I've
Mhm.
had, I think it's called O'Doul's, because
Mhm.
my father-in-law drinks them. But
Mhm.
I'll be damned if I handed it to my 11-year-old son and was like, yeah, here, you can have it. Just because it's
Exactly.
non-alcoholic, it tastes like beer.
It does. It does taste like beer. It does. And
Beer.
I'd be like, no, dude, you're gonna drink this apple juice out of your juice cup.
Oh God.
Yeah,
We live in a crazy world, y'all. Crazy
it's
world.
crazy. It's
Can
crazy.
we get to,
I
we have one more topic, don't we?
I think we have more than one more topic. Hold on one second.
We flew through these topics, girl.
Well, because you said you had stuff to do, so I figured, okay, number one, we got to start on time. Number two, okay, so let's talk about LeBron James's son and the comparison with that and Tori, the Tori Kelly.
Tori Kelly, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we agree, but we agree in different ways
Yeah.
on this.
Can I read the stories? Let's start with Tori Kelly's story real quick. So she was rushed to the hospital after collapsing, and doctors have found it looks like blood clots around her vital organs, which is a super serious thing. She was at dinner in downtown LA Sunday night with friends when her heart started beating really fast, and she passed out for a while. Tori's friends wanted to make sure she wasn't taken to a hospital downtown, instead taken to Cedars-Sinai, one of the country's premier hospitals. So they carried her outside, loaded her in a vehicle, and sped to the hospital instead of calling an ambulance. Let me tell you, that's really gutsy of their friends, considering they didn't know what the situation was. And just that little move of not calling people who could literally be saving her life on the way to the hospital. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that. She's in the ICU. Doctors have discovered clots in her legs and her lungs and are still working to determine if there's any clots around her heart. The singer's been in and out of consciousness during her hospitalization. So, the same day, LeBron's son, Bronny James,
Cardiac arrest.
suffered a cardiac arrest while he was at his team practice at University of Southern California. He also went to Cedars-Sinai and was being treated. It looks like his situation is more stable than hers. They said that patients who experience an unlikely cardiac arrest often undergo numerous tests over multiple days to determine the causes. He spent some time in intensive care, which is a positive sign for his long-term recovery. He's only 16 years old, which makes this really, really sad. And regardless of my thoughts about LeBron James and politics and all this other stuff, like no parent wants to get this call that their child is being rushed to the hospital, having cardiac arrest. So like, for sure, my prayers go out to them as well. They don't know how this is going to affect his basketball career, or if at all. But yeah, very interesting that these two things happened, I think, within a day of each other.
Do you suspect the jab?
So in Tori Kelly's case, I'm going to lean more towards a yes, because the clot word was used and several clots were used. And after watching that one documentary, which we cannot name on here because we'll get dinged for saying so, but after watching that and that having to do a lot with that type of condition, it makes me suspicious. Now, both of these people, Bronny's a lot younger than her, but she's considerably young herself. A 16-year-old suffering cardiac arrest, much like Damar Hamlin suffering cardiac arrest, is interesting to me. Now, let me say something really quick here. Speaking of Damar Hamlin. So Damar Hamlin, okay, y'all remember he was the Buffalo Bills football player who literally went into cardiac arrest on the field, and he pretty much did die, and they brought him back to life. Okay. he suffered a cardiac arrest. And it's funny because when people were talking about Damar Hamlin's condition, those of us that suspected there was something nefarious going on with the whole jab situation, even though we didn't know if he had gotten the jab or not.
I have to go. They just called me to the field. So I'm sorry, guys. If I can come back, I'm going to come back.
I didn't hear you. What did you say? They called
I
you
have to
to
go.
the field. Oh, to the
Yeah,
field.
they called
Okay.
me.
Right. Okay. All right, guys. So anyways, as I was saying, so Damar Hamlin had that situation, and a lot of people were like, you guys, let's not jump to conclusions. Let's not, immediately assume that it's the shot, that caused this. It could just be because he was exerting a lot of energy and adrenaline that caused him, and he also took a really bad hit that caused him to go into this cardiac arrest on the field, right? But Bronny James was in the middle of practice, and as you know, when you play basketball, you are constantly running up and down the court, so your heart is pumping. Okay. Now he's not a 30-year-old man. He's a 16-year-old boy. So unless he has a pre-existing heart condition that nobody knew about, this shouldn't happen at 16 years old. So, to answer Soonie's question, and unfortunately she had to leave. She just got a call about her son. She has to go to the field where her son is doing practice. Hopefully everything's okay. Yeah. I do think it is related to that. And Red Pill makes a great point. He has grown up with the best nutritionalists, private trainers, exactly, right? And I'm sure he's had a full cardiac workout or workup going into college and being in the sport that he's at. So great point. We know blood clots and myocarditis are both associated with it. Yes, we found that out during Damar Hamlin's situation. Kids don't have cardiac arrest. Exactly. Now, again, I want to preface this. We are not medical experts. I'm not giving medical advice. I'm saying this all to protect the channel and myself, because if YouTube tries to come after us for misinformation, we are not giving any solid medical advice. This is solely our opinion. Okay. So, Soonie, and I'm going to speak for her roughly because we had a conversation about this yesterday, but she's very much annoyed with everybody saying, well, every time something happens like this, or if somebody close like to the Clintons or somebody dies, it's the Clintons killed them, or if it's not the Clintons, it's COVID, or now it's the shot. So now that COVID has gone away, now everything is, well, they got the vaccine, this is what's causing it theory, right? Soonie's a little bit annoyed with that. And I told her, I said, listen, I get what you're saying. That you're right. Nobody can just have a medical issue these days without it being related to those things. But one has to really acknowledge that a 16-year-old going into cardiac arrest is very odd. A professional football player who takes hits for a living, nearly dying on the field from a hit that looked like a pretty routine tackle seems odd. A young, seemingly healthy woman with all these blood clots in her body seems odd, right? And you just keep adding them up, and one has to say, something doesn't smell right here. Okay. Now the question is, and I was watching Officer Tatum yesterday, and shout out to him for saying this because he made a video on this as well, is he said, the question is LeBron going to say something? LeBron has a really big voice. Can he say something is the next question. Can he say something? Is he at liberty to actually speak up and say something isn't right here? Okay. We have had too many young athletes drop dead, have cardiac issues ever since this, came on the scene. So is he going to use his platform and use this situation with his son to finally say something ain't right? Now, I may not like LeBron. I may think some of the stuff he says is stupid, but he's not stupid. He's clearly smart enough to navigate himself into a very successful career. He seems like he is an excellent father, right, to his children. So I'm not going to take that away from him. Is he going to speak up is the question. That is the question I have. All right, let's see here. Holly says, we have to stop this BS. We know what these vaccines are causing. Sure, it's getting old, but that doesn't make it not true. I agree with you. I think we're on the same page. JC, you don't think he'll say anything? I personally don't think he's going to say anything either. And I apologize, you guys. I want to look right at you in the camera, but this ring light is blinding me. So I'm going to look over to the right as if Soonie were here. But yeah, I agree. I don't think he's going to say anything. And if he does, it's really going to surprise me. But you know, like how many more deaths have to happen, or, you know, scenarios like this have to happen until we do something. So we'll continue to provide. Look at us, Mo. We'll continue to provide an update on those two people so that we can keep up with that. And again, prayers to LeBron James, his son Bronny, and his family that's probably worried sick about him. And also to Tori Kelly as well. Okay. So it must have been just fate that Soonie dropped off because she knew I was going to talk about this Tarcari Campbell situation, and she's not interested in it. But shout out in the comments box if you guys are here for the Tarcari Campbell conspiracy theories, for the tea, for the story. Please drop a 1 in the chat if you're here for this story, like I am, because I am fully breasted. I'm fully vested. Is it LeBron James Jr. or is it Bronny James? I've always heard him referred to as Bronny, but I'm sure he's LeBron Jr. Obviously, I think maybe Bronny is short for LeBron, but Bronny's cute. I think that's a really cute name. You forgot who that is. Tarcari Campbell is the chef, the personal private chef of Michelle and Barack Obama. I knew Red Pill would be here for it. They took him out. Okay. Yes. Who is that? I'm here for the conspiracy theory. Okay. So if you guys don't know this story, I will tell you all about it. Okay. So Tarcari Campbell was the private chef of Michelle and Barack Obama. I'm going to pull up a picture here for you guys to see. And he actually worked as a sous chef at the White House during their term. And coincidentally, the chef that President Trump had, which was this really big, buff black dude, this guy Tarcari worked under the lead chef, the big buff dude. Okay, so he was his sous chef. I believe this young man was 45 years old. I say young man, but he was 45 years old, and he drowned in a pond. Okay, he drowned in a pond on the property that Michelle and Barack Obama call their vacation home in Martha's Vineyard. Now, mind you, this is a $12 million vacation home. It's a gigantic property. Let me pull up the property photos here really quick. Let me just stop sharing this. I want to show you guys the property photo so you can see this as well. Listen, now that Soonie's not here, I can give you the full story. Okay. Michelle. Let me just see if I can pull it up on this thing here, because they got all kinds of photos, y'all. They got all kinds of photos. Okay. Tarcari Campbell, Martha's Vineyard. See, now that Soonie's here, we can act up. We can have all the fun we want. And she ain't going to kill our vibe. She's probably listening to us right now. And she's probably laughing. And she's probably going to try to get a call-in number so she can join the show. But it ain't happening. Okay. Michelle and Barack's Martha Vineyard home. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to show you guys this sweet little vacation home that the Obamas have so that you guys can see. Okay. Here you go. Here you go. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Okay. So this is the home. Why is it like that? Why is it like that? Oh, because I have it like at 400. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to get to where we can see the full property. But I want it to be big enough for you guys to see the full property. Okay, this is all you're going to get. So here's the home right here. Okay, this right here in the background is what they call a pond. Okay, now I know that it looks like a gigantic body of water, but there's actually like a sand dune back here that separates it from the Atlantic Ocean. So this is a half freshwater, half saltwater pond. And even though this looks quite massive back here, from what I can tell, it doesn't go very deep. Okay. It's not very deep at all. In fact, when I was looking at the city website, they said on there that this pond is primarily used by the residents for swimming. Okay. So it's not very deep at all. And from what I can tell, it is at most 12 feet deep at the deepest. Apparently, where Tarcari was found was the not so deep part. It was 8 feet deep of water. Okay. So what he did was he and a friend decided to go paddleboarding on the pond at the estate. Michelle and Barack were not vacationing there at the time. So I don't think that this young man was staying there. And it's very possible that he may have a residence on the property, considering he is a personal chef of theirs. But it said in the article that I read that he was visiting Martha's Vineyard, and he and a friend were paddleboarding on the pond. Okay. There's a few interesting things here that I'm going to point out about this, but I'm going to read this article that says that the police say nothing suspicious with this drowning has been found. Okay. And I call bullshit. Okay. So they said that there is no evidence of anything suspicious with the drowning death of the Barack Obama's personal chef, Tori Campbell. Campbell, 45, tragically died in a paddleboarding accident in the water close to the former president's home on Martha's Vineyard on Sunday night. Now pay attention to the day, Sunday night. So they were there, not in the darkness, but it was in the evening. And obviously it's lighter, dark, later into the night. Police in Edgartown, Massachusetts confirmed on Monday morning, Sunday night he drowned, Monday morning, that his body has been recovered from the town's Great Pond. Campbell had worked for the Obamas at the White House and then joined the family as their personal chef afterwards. Police said Barack and Michelle were not at home when Campbell died, but were on the island. Why wouldn't? Okay, well, maybe they were out. I'm not even going to look into that. Their daughter, Sasha and Malia, were spotted leaving Martha's Vineyard after the tragedy occurred. Tori was a beloved part of our family, the Obama family said in a statement. Our hearts are broken that he is gone. In an update on Tuesday, Massachusetts police said that he was not wearing a personal flotation device and was not leashed to the paddleboard when he fell into the water. He was with a fellow paddleboarder who has not been named. Okay, I want to know who this person is. Who is his little paddleboarding buddy? It says that this person tried to help him but could not reach him in time. Okay, so here's some questions that remain unanswered. Okay. Let's see here. So he served during, let's see, what is the question? There are several key details we do not know about the circumstances of the chef's death. Martha's Vineyard authorities said that they have found no suspicious evidence in the drowning. We said that earlier, but several key details about the circumstances have not been explained. Okay. Tafari Campbell was not tethered to the paddleboard when he fell. They're doing an autopsy, or I'm sorry, the police said on Tuesday that an autopsy found no evidence that the death was suspicious and no trauma or injuries were found on his body. A paddleboarder who was at the pond with Campbell when the tragedy unfolded told law enforcement that the late chef was standing on his paddleboard when he lost balance. He was not wearing a personal flotation device and was not leashed to the paddleboard. The fellow paddleboarder tried to swim to Mr. Campbell's location, but did not reach him in time. The update read, the other paddleboarder then swam to the shore and notified a person on shore of what happened. MSP said no other updates are expected at this time for standard toxicology resorts that our protocol may take several weeks. So that the toxicology is going to take a little bit of time there. Okay. Let's see. Police said blah, blah, blah. Questions have been asked. Okay. So yesterday on my show, I had posted a Twitter post that he had made back in 2017 showing him and his wife standing chest deep in the sea off of Aruba with the hashtag still can't swim. Okay. So that raised a lot of eyebrows because people were like, oh my gosh, you know, he literally said in here, he can't swim. So why would he be on the lake and not have a flotation device if he can't swim? Right. But as people dug further into his Twitter posts, they found this thing. And I want to show you this video. And this was taken from Tafari's Twitter page, and it hashtagged progress and fit chef. Okay. There's no audio to this, but this is Tafari in a pool, swimming very well. Okay, so this is what makes everything so odd. Is that look at him. He is swimming very well, and he looks a lot taller than I thought he was initially reported at being. I mean, there he's doing the backstroke, he's kicking, he's got really good form. This guy doesn't look like a beginner swimmer to me. Okay. So this makes it all the more interesting now, right? That obviously he could swim. Okay. So that makes not having a life jacket on, although I think it's, you know, pretty standard protocol that whether you can swim or not, you should have a life jacket on. You should have your ankle, you know, tethered to the board. And the question remains, what happened? Okay. And why couldn't he save himself, or at least pull himself up onto the board and float at least? And I understand if his friend was paddleboarding quite a ways away, because, you know, that's not uncommon that you're paddleboarding with people and, you know, you're kind of like a distance away from each other. I can understand that. But the fact that they found him in 8 feet of water, 100 yards from the shore, makes it very hard for me to grab a hold of the theory that this guy that was with him couldn't do something to help him. Okay. Tafari looked at least 6 feet, but I'm going to guess 6'2", 6'3". Now, granted, that's not tall enough to like stand up and get your head above 8 feet of water, but it's enough that if you did go down and you were conscious, you could push yourself up, or because we know he can swim, that you could have at least held onto your board. Why didn't this person that was with him try harder to save him? Do you know how much time it would have taken for him to, you know, get off his board, you know, see that Tafari was struggling, then go, oh my God, what do I do? Then swim back to shore, tell somebody there, wait for the police to get, I mean, that seems a little crazy to me. You know, like the only thing I can think, if I wasn't going to go down the, you know, conspiracy route, is maybe Tafari also got the jab and had a, I'm not trying to laugh at Tafari's death, but also, you know, had blood clots or an aneurysm or a heart attack, and he just passed out and he was just dead weight, and this guy couldn't bring him up, because I will tell you, a completely limp body is very hard to get from the bottom of a pool or a bottom of the lake. I used to lifeguard. I know what it is. We used to have to like literally bring dummies up from the pool, or even humans that would just fake, sinking, and we'd have to bring them up. But even somebody who is alive and aware and breathing is very, very hard to bring up. When somebody is dead weight, it is very hard to bring up. So I will give them that. Okay. Now, let me address some of these comments real quick. Holly says, I'm sorry. Let's see. Holly says, she said that MFer can swim. I would take about 15 seconds to paddleboard 100 yards. It would take about 15 seconds to paddleboard 100 yards. Yeah. Why didn't he just float him? I don't know. But here's where it gets it gets weird. I mean, aside from the fact that he is, the chef of Michelle and Barack Obama, I said on my show yesterday, there's three things. Okay. There's three things in my little mind that pop up. Number one, this truly is just a freak accident. He must have had some type of medical something happen, although the autopsy says that's not possible. Okay, so now we got to wait for toxicology. Maybe he was on something, maybe keeping up with the Obamas, he had to do a little speed, a little something, and I don't know, it caused something, right? So we could go with that theory. Number one, it was a freak accident. Number two, we all know the rumor about Barack Obama making some moves on some gentlemen prior to his presidency, prior to him becoming the Barack Obama. So there is people that have come out and said he has propositioned me for sex. So my next question would be, did maybe he make a move on Tafari at one point, and Tafari, he didn't trust that Tafari wasn't going to open his mouth, and maybe he, called his friend Hillary, which I'm going to read a story about her chef in a second here, and said, hey, like, what do you suggest? You know what I mean? I got a problem. I got to take care of it. Right. There's that one. Yes, he was currently their chef. Last theory. If y'all know the Pizzagate, we'll call that a conspiracy, with the hot dogs and the pizza, that they literally have emails. I have seen them with my own eyes because they were exposed. That Barack Obama was flying in 60 pizzas because pizzas and hot dogs are the code word for children. Okay. If you know, I'm not going to go into that on this show, but if you know, pizzas and hot dogs are the code word between pedophiles in the pedophile community for children. Okay. So maybe Tafari catered too many hot dog and pizza parties, and they knew he knew too much. Okay. And maybe Tafari went to go see The Sound of Freedom, and he was like, wait a minute. Yeah. So those are the three options that we have. Hey, in the chat, if you guys want to vote on one of the three, or you guys even have a different theory, let me know. While you're voting on that, I am going to tell you about another chef. Okay. That was a very eerie parallel with Tafari Campbell. Okay. Hillary Clinton, she had a chef, Walter Scheib. Okay. Walter Scheib came up when this Tafari Campbell death happened. He was working in the White House and under the Clintons for a total of 11 years. So he worked for the Clintons, he worked for the Bushes. And in 2015, he drowned while hiking in the Sangre de Cristo Mountains near Taos, New Mexico. Okay. Very mysterious. Massachusetts State Police said that Campbell's body, oh, I'm sorry, that's Campbell's story. I'm trying to go into what's his name story. So Sheeb, age 61, was reported missing on June 16th, 2015 by his girlfriend after setting off on what authorities believed was a fishing trip. Okay. 3 days earlier, his body was found submerged in a mountain drainage flowing with surface runoff about 25 yards from the Yerba County Trail. It was hidden from view by dense vegetation and a steep, rocky decline. Thunderstorms hit the area as Schleb made his way down the Lobo Peak Mountain. Incident Commander Richardson Goldstein said the water had been running very fast due to the weather. Okay. The last cellular signal from his phone was detected at 3 p.m. on June 13th, with rescue workers using helicopters, dogs, horses to assist in their search for his body. During a 2006 interview with the Washington Post about his work in the White House, Schleb said, "I love working for the Bushes and Clintons. It's the greatest honor a chef can have to work for the first family." The Obamas paid tribute to Campbell in a statement, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Be though as it may, that it is an extreme honor, okay, to be a White House chef or to even be asked to move on with the first family that you worked for to their now private life, okay? Be that as it may. If I were, and I said this on my show yesterday, if I were a chef for Joe Biden, okay? If I were a chef anywhere near Joe Biden, boy, I'd be shaking in my boots. I would be on every job, careers.com, jobs.com, what's the other ones? Okay, everything, looking for another job. Okay, I'd be where I would take a job at Chili's. I would take a job at some chicken shack down the street, all to get out of danger. Okay, that's danger. It ain't safe to be a White House chef. Hell, it's not safe to be anywhere near anybody in the White House. Okay, you know too much, you see too much, and when that happens, okay, you're in their sights. You're in their sights, and if they think that you're going to tell, if they think that you're going to blow the whistle on them, off with your head. Off with your head. All right, let's see what people are saying here. Wait, hold on. It was shrooms. He was on shrooms. Okay. Plot twist. His mistress was the other paddleboarder, and his wife had to find out. Ooh, that one right there. She did just have twins. She did just see y'all are my people. Holly, you are my people. Okay. This is why Soonie had to leave, because y'all are my people. This is how I think too. This is so good. The other paddleboarder. That's why they're not revealing her, because she was a side chick. Woo! Shout out to Holly for the master theory right there. Drown hiking makes more sense. Okay, I agree with you. The other chef's death was a little bit like there was nothing in my mind suspicious about it other than he worked for the Clintons, but it made more sense because there was bad weather. He was hiking. There was a runoff. I agree with you there, but I just wanted to bring that up, right? In a drainage ditch, no less. Yes. The chef be looking like this. Exactly. Biden chef is like, shoot. Yeah. See, everybody's jumping on this side, dude. Ooh, listen. I can't wait to find out more about this story. I cannot wait. I'm going to be so nosy about this story. Y'all already know. Oh, I love that theory. I love that theory, Holly, so much. And it makes a lot of sense. It really, really does. It really does. Holly, you get the award tonight. You get the award tonight for the best theory. If anybody else has a better theory than Holly's, speak up now or forever hold your peace, because I'm actually going to abandon my theories and go with Holly's theory, to tell you the truth. Anyway, so that's where we're at with the Tarcari Campbell. So now we just wait for the toxicology results to see what happens there. But I think they're not going to find anything there at all. They're not going to find anything. Okay, did we talk about everything? I think we got everything We got to everything on the list, y'all. At least I didn't get the repeal the 19 sticker tonight, right? I got it. I got it for you. Soonie, if she was here, she for sure would have given me the repeal the 19 sticker already. Okay, guys. So I just want to since we're here and we've got time and Mo's got time. Number one, I wanted to put up the link if you guys want to join and talk to me or have any questions for me. We can talk about whatever you want to talk about. You can come up here just like you do on Instagram live. If you want to show your face, you can. Otherwise, you can keep your camera off, and I'd be happy to invite you to the stream. Or if you want to drop any questions down below that I can answer for you, I'd be happy to do that as well. Okay. So I'll give it a little bit of time. Let me just peruse my Instagram really quick. Okay. Because I always save little things that I always want to talk about with you guys. So again, now that Soonie's not here, we can have fun. Okay. My guess is Hunter Biden with the crack pipe in the pond. That's awesome. Your theory's the best, Birdman. What's your theory? I didn't even see your theory. The chef be looking like this. That's the only thing I saw. I'm trying to see. What was your theory? You're going to have to put your theory back in there because I didn't see that. Oh, okay. Sinead O'Connor. So we talked about Sinead O'Connor a little bit at the beginning. Soonie didn't know who Sinead O'Connor was, but she sang that popular song, Nothing Compares to You. And I would sing it for you, but I'm trying to rest my voice. I'm trying to rest my voice, but I'll pop up a picture here of Sinead O'Connor for y'all so you guys can see who she is. If you don't know, because I know a lot of you guys are a lot younger. This is Sinead O'Connor. She was like a really cute girl, actually. She rocked the bald head. This was her in her later years. Actually, this is probably a better picture. I mean, but she was older, y'all. She was older. She had a son that committed suicide, I want to say like a year or two ago. And she had written on her social media pages that she really just didn't want to go on life. She had been in a really bad place. She had been heartbroken since her son had died. And he was the only person that understood her. And it looks like she committed suicide, which is really, really sad. I think she was in her 50s. I don't know how old she was, which really blew me away because I am, I think 44. I don't know. I've lost count of how old I am. But that doesn't make her that much older than me. So that's weird. So anyways, her 17-year-old son died. 2 weeks before Sinead O'Connor committed suicide. So he just recently died. So she wrote, been living as an undead night creature since. This is referring to the death of her son. She wrote along with a photo of her hugging her son, Lunny. He was the love of my life, the lamp of my soul. We were one soul in two halves. He was the only person who ever loved me unconditionally. I'm lost in the bardo without him. So very, very sad. 56. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Birdman said he's not typing his theory again. Okay. Well, then Holly wins. That's just how it goes. Holly wins. Oh yeah, that's right. She famously tore up the picture of the Pope on stage. That was another thing that she did. Why is Soonie? Wait a minute. Hold on, you guys. I'm gonna put you on hold. Soonie's calling me. Okay, so Soonie said everything's good. There was nothing, no emergency. She's on her way back. All right. Okay, let's see here. I don't know why she tore up the picture of the Pope. If somebody can fill me in there, let me know. But I do remember her doing that. Oh, let's see. Now that Soonie's not here, we can have fun. Mo is going to get in trouble. Yeah, and we got to get in all the fun now. Otherwise, because Soonie's on her way back, and then she's going to kill all the fun. She always suffered with depression. Yeah, I did hear that. Birdman's going to tell on us. You better not. You better not. We're all going to get in trouble. Look at. I love you guys. I love that you guys want to behave badly. Okay, let me go back to perusing my Instagram really quick just to make sure that I have touched on every subject that I wanted to touch on with you guys, which I think I did. Damn it. I think I did. She said they knew about the pedo. Yes. Okay. Now you're listen, Holly for the win. Okay. I remember this. She said they knew about the pedo stuff in Ireland 10 years before the world knew. That's right. Whoa. Okay. So here we go. Let's put on our tinfoil hat. It's too bad that I threw my tinfoil hat away because it was like really, really in bad shape. But now let's begin to go down a rabbit hole. Okay. So Sinead O'Connor tears up photo of Pope. Think about this for a second, y'all. Think about this for a second. She tore up the photo of the Pope. Okay, so let's just see. Let's just read this story before I go down the rabbit hole. Let me show my screen. You sent me a DM about her and the Pope. Okay, wait, let me look at that. I'm all over the place. I'm all over the place, but I'm going to go look at this DM. Okay. Oh, Lord. Oh, he sent me a video. Okay. Let me play this video that Birdman just sent me. You guys are coming in hot with the tea real quick. Okay. We're going to play this right here. So this is what the caption says on this. Sinead was fighting against child sex abuse before we even knew it was an issue. She warned us about the Vatican and was ridiculed, giving up millions, possibly even billions, by standing up for what was right, while we all laughed with Hollywood and the media as they slandered her name. She never wavered. Woo! Okay, let's watch this.
The Pope's picture up on Saturday Night Live. Whose picture were you tearing up?
The Pope's.
I mean, what did the Pope represent to you?
Interestingly, what people don't know is that, first of all, we in Ireland knew 10 years before you all did about child abuse within the Catholic Church. We had evidence.
So she said we in Ireland knew 10 years before basically the United States knew that there was pedophilia in the Catholic Church. Ooh, this is getting spicy.
The photo itself had been on my mother's bedroom wall all my life. I was genuinely very angry with what the church were doing. By ripping that picture, you know, I risked my career, everything. I could be a billionaire now if I wanted, if I believed in that, you know what I mean? But I don't. But I know what you're getting at, and yes, this didn't occur to me until about 6 months ago. It's my father.
Did you know you were going to do it when you went on?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, okay, somebody explain, what was her father? What was her father?
So I had planned it for a couple of weeks. At the very end, I pull out the picture of the Pope and tear it up. Silence.
Threw it at the camera.
Silence. Everywhere. It was fantastic.
So what happened afterwards?
My manager vanished for about 3 days. He went to his hotel, just unplugged the phone. About 10 years after that I don't remember, because that's when it became acceptable and it became the norm that I was treated by everyone I knew, from family to everyone, like I was an absolutely insane, crazy person.
Whoa. So what she's saying there is that her mother had a picture of the Pope up on the wall, and she realized that the Pope was her father. What? Okay, so let me just separate the two things. Hold on. Let's see what Holly has to say, because right now we have to listen to what Holly has to say. I'm guessing that he was trying to get her to admit that she was agree with the Catholic Church for what her father may have done to her. Yeah, I'm not sure what I guess that he was trying to get her to admit that she will. You'll have to pull that full interview. Okay, I'm going to have to watch that tonight. But here's my thing now. Since nobody dies just because, y'all, what if, like, now that all this pedophilia stuff is coming up with the Sound of Freedom, and all that stuff, and like exposing, right? We've been exposing, but like the Sound of Freedom has really, like, I feel, opened it up, like cracked it open even more. What if they took her out? What if they were like, we could make this look like a suicide, because she made it very well known that she was depressed because her son committed suicide, maybe committed suicide. But what if, y'all, this is crazy. See how like what seemingly is a small story just isn't a small story? Yeah, I'm speculating too. Okay, well, now I'm going to have to go down the rabbit hole. Everybody, your homework assignment is this: go down the rabbit hole with these interviews. So we can all come back informed. What is this? Mo's kufi is on tight. What is a kufi? Okay, Holly's about to rephrase what she had to say. Anyways, that is very interesting for sure. And you know how Hollywood be doing though? Like they like the rumor is that nobody in Hollywood has a career unless they play by the rules. You know what I mean? Nobody in Hollywood has a career unless they play by the rules. So what that means is, as long as you're playing along with what they want you to do and say and sing about and whatever, they will make sure your career takes off. But the minute you speak against them, they will destroy you. Look at Britney Spears. They did it to her. Look at Kanye West. They did it to him. Sinead O'Connor was like a one-hit wonder. Well, seemingly so. She was a one-hit wonder, but she had a huge fan base. Okay, let's see. Angela says, I actually was thinking the same. She has 3 other children to take care of. See, I didn't know that. I only think of one thing when you said kufi. I don't even know what the hell a kufi is. You hoteps know what I mean. I don't know. Nobody knows what you mean. Nobody knows what you do. Maybe if Soonie was here, she'd be able to decipher, but I don't know what you mean. So yeah, we all need to go down that rabbit hole for sure. Because there's just some weird stuff, right? There's this Jamie Foxx thing. There is this now Sinead O'Connor thing. There's this dead chef thing. There's these people dropping dead or, having these mysterious illnesses. It's all very odd, everything that's going on right now. So yeah, I do think they were saying the Pope was her dad. That's crazy. Dr. Phil was trying to get her to connect the dots that she was angry with the Pope about what was happening with pedophilia in the church to what her father may have done to her, possibly molested. Okay. You guys, coochie is what Jax was thinking. It sounded like Mo said that. He said Koofy. Mo, start watching Hoteps. Been told you. It'll make sense. Who is this? Who are you, Synergy? Whatever. I don't remember anybody telling me to watch Hoteps. What is that? I feel like you guys. I don't speak in this type of lingo. I don't know what Hoteps are. I don't know what Koofy is. Yeah, you're gonna have to spell it out for me. Okay, next. Do you think Fauci and Mother Teresa resemble each other? Fauci and Mother Teresa. Fauci and no, I don't think so. I haven't even finished typing this in, but no, I don't think so. Oh my gosh, there's literally like a side by side. Okay, I'm gonna show this to you guys. This is hilarious. Now that I'm looking at this, maybe you're right. Somebody did a Mother Teresa and Fauci side by side. And yeah, it kind of does look like they kind of do look like one another. That is really weird. Are we sure? Y'all, the internet is so wrong for this. I think they manipulated the photo because this is Mother Teresa. And when you look at her just by herself, no, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that photo is manipulated. I think they like kind of superimposed Fauci's face onto Mother Teresa's face, but that's a good one though. That's a good one. That's funny. Related to go down that rabbit hole. They look related. Smash that like button. Yeah, smash that like button. I'm doing this show by myself. MT Mother Teresa looks like a dude. I mean, she was old and she didn't wear makeup. You know what I mean? She probably was pretty back in the day. What about Oprah? What about Oprah? Why now everyone coming out? What about Oprah? Everybody's coming out? Oprah came out like out of the closet? Dude, Oprah's for sure part of all this nonsense, for sure. How about Trudeau being Castro's son? Oh my Lord. Y'all are in another universe. Y'all be perusing the dark web, I think. Okay. Cause I'm not even this deep into it. I am not even this deep into it. Y'all are crazy. You guys are funny, man. You know what? Y'all secretly like when Soonie's not here, don't you? Admit it. You like me better. Say it in the chat. Look at Obama's kids. Look at Obama's kids. What am I looking at them for? Where's the super chat? Yeah, where's the super chats? Super chat. No, I am meaning all the sex trafficking. What about oh, yeah. Oprah's tied to the sex trafficking. Well, yeah, like that school that she had in Africa, right? That's been coming under a lot of scrutiny. And then that guy that she said was her mentor secretly died. Did y'all hear about? Not secretly, but he died. Like he got convicted of a crime. Oprah's mentor. What was his name? Hold on. I typed in Oprah's mentor and it said Maya Angelou. She was one of them. Harvey T.H. Chan was the guy's name. Hold on one second. Where's the story though about it? Oprah Winfrey. Hold on. I got to find this story because I've been meaning to read this story about Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey. If I type this in and nothing comes up, it's for sure a scandal because they're trying to hide this story. Yeah, see, I typed it in Google. You know what I typed in? I typed in Oprah Winfrey in Google, and all it's talking about is her slimmed down figure. Nobody cares about that. Oprah's been losing weight. Oprah, let's type in Oprah Winfrey scandal. Look at this. This is so weird. So this is an old article. Oprah Winfrey hits back at false sex trafficking rumors. Oprah Winfrey has responded to false rumors that circulated online, accusing her of sex trafficking and alleging that her Florida home has been raided by police. A number of tweets made false claims, though, to have similar origins to the right-wing conspiracy. Oh, it's a QAnon thing. Oh, okay. I gotcha. Anyways, I can't remember the name of the guy that was like mentoring her, but what up, Soonie? Fun's over, everybody. Soonie's back.
I should have just stayed gone.
Listen,
I rushed back to this shit for you to play.
No, listen, you missed the best conspiracy when we were talking about Tarcari Campbell. Dude, I had everybody coming up with like what they think is going on here. And Holly said that she thinks that the person that Tarcari was paddleboarding with was his mistress. And that's why they're not naming the person that he was paddleboarding with because he was with another woman. At least it takes the heat off the Obamas. And I'm going to need you to decode this person. I don't know who this person is. Synergy Strength saying, I don't know how to code talk. It's hot out here in these internet streets. They said something about my kufi is tight. I don't know what a kufi is. You know what a kufi is?
No.
Okay. Well, see, Sooney's black and she don't even know what it is. And then they said I needed to watch the Hotep something. I don't know what Hotep is.
Why are you listen? Don't be coming into my shit recommending some off cold black niggas, bro. You watching my show? You watch my show. We didn't ask for no recommendations. I know who that is.
Is he talking about Hotep Jesus?
Don't be doing no cross promotion for no other platform on here. What's wrong with you?
I'm gonna put the link because Birdman asked me for the link to super chat, so I'll put it in here if you guys want to super chat.
Excuse me.
Hey, shout out to last week's bidding war with the super chats. Whoa. I'm gonna pin this right here. Okay. Obama's kids look more like another couple than close to them. Okay, so we're going down the conspiracy rabbit hole right now. Dude, I didn't know Sinead O'Connor had this whole thing about exposing pedophilia 10 years ago where she tore up a picture of the Pope on Dr. Phil. And she said people in Ireland knew about pedophilia in the church well before it got to America. And I was like, maybe that's why she mysteriously died. I mean, it looked like a suicide, but maybe that's why. The people are loving this conversation, by the way. They love this conversation. Tell them, people, don't go silent on me now. Don't go silent on me now. Tell her how much y'all were having fun up in here with Mo and the conspiracy theories. Why are we silent?
I'm just waiting for all the votes to start pouring in.
Hey, it's a little delayed. Don't worry about it. It's gonna be pouring in.
It's gonna continue talking about your conspiracies. I don't have nothing to add. I told you this long before.
We were at the tail end of it, and they were just throwing in topics that they would like me to discuss. So, wow, thank you, Birdman. And he put it in. He put it in with a "We missed you, Soonie." That's so funny. He said, "We missed you, Soonie." $99. How about a $99 for Mo too? Cricket.
Can we get a conspiracy corner segment? Not for me. I don't want this show to turn into that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't. These are stupid, mind-numbing conversations where you have no proof of anything. You're just making shit up in your head.
We gotta have a fun. If we talk about ratchetness, we gotta have a fun little 5 minutes dedicated to a conspiracy. Told you guys, the fun's over. All right, serious topics. Serious topics, y'all. Serious topics. Play the song to see if Soonie's ever heard it. Oh, I can't play it. I can't play it because we'd get demonetized because it's a popular song. See, speculation is fun. I agree. Plus, Holly wins the award for the best speculation of the night. All right, guys. Well, tell us if you want to talk, what topics you guys want us to touch on that we haven't touched on. And we'll answer questions. We're happy to answer questions about anything that you guys want to talk about since we have a little bit of time on here. Soonie said, "No soup for you." I don't get what these comments are. I don't understand. Do you know who this Synergy person is?
Yeah, he's from Instagram. He got his ass handed to him on the slavery talk. That's the dude that was up there that was saying slavery was beneficial to actual slaves. What a retarded statement, but I digress.
I meant to ask you about that, by the way, because you were having a lot of conversations about that topic. And I was curious.
On that?
No, well, yeah, but when you guys were having the actual topic about like, was slavery beneficial to Black people? What was the general what was the general commentary on that when you were posing that question?
Well, of course, the Black conservatives were saying yes, and the sensible Black people were saying that's dumb. Literally broke down to that. We were more so discussing why they would put that in there because it sounds like CRT to me. So yeah, that was literally the gist of it. We didn't get to finish it because I was just over the topic by then. So I abruptly ended the live and was like, oops, it was my timer. You ever do that?
Yeah. Well, they end it for you.
No, I wasn't even close to the timer being done.
Oh, you faked it.
Yeah, I
You
sure did.
faked it. I never do the timer fake, but I mean, I don't go live very often, but sometimes I'll be like, if I'm on somebody's live and I want to get off, I'll be like, oh, I had technical difficulties or something. I'm interested to hear y'all's take on the whistleblower UFO congressional interior. I don't even know anything about that. Do you know anything about that?
No, there is no UFOs.
They're actually having a congressional hearing about this? That I didn't know. Hold on. UFO. With everything going on, this is what we're concerned about? Come on, man. Let's see. These are the memorable moments. Let's see. They gave us some short clips. The memorable moments. Government is absolutely in possession of UAPs. What are UAPs? Unidentified, obviously. What the hell's a UAP? I don't know, Holly.
Excuse me.
Non-human
Sorry.
biologics were found at crash site. Officials must establish a safe and transparent reporting process. Oh, Lord. Okay. I can't. Listen, if there's one thing I can't get into, it's UFOs. I don't know why, but I just can't do it. All right.
Oh, you can get into salacious BS about people drowning, but
Absolutely.
you can't get into UFOs.
Yeah, because the person exists. You know what I mean? Like I can for sure get into that, but I can't get into the little green men and flying saucers. I just can't. I mean,
Absurd.
I definitely believe that there is life on other planets and that they probably visit us, but am I concerned about it? Not really. Why we're having congressional hearings about this when there's so many other important things? I don't know.
That's hilarious.
Anything new about Brian Hawkins? Nothing new on my end. Have you heard anything?
No, I think because the story's died, then we need to go ahead and let Lion Brian go ahead and disappear with the story. Now, I want to know how the hearing went that he had on the 17th. I haven't heard anything about that. I would like to know if he was charged with anything or what happened. And we don't have any information on that. So, nothing new to give.
Have you looked up anything on the Riverside County Sheriff's website? If he was issued a new court date?
Other than the court date that he already got? No. We don't know. Excuse me.
Let me look it up real quick. You can talk about something while I look this up. I just want to see.
That took me out. Bro, I ran up 3 flights of stairs just for you to come back and be like, up, fun's over.
No, we were having fun.
I should have took my time.
The fun ain't over. We were having fun. You're just not into our fun.
No.
We were having fun.
Can't do it.
Yeah, they haven't updated this. So I did, by the way, I did get a letter. Soonie knows about this, but I got a letter from the state of California because I did a FOIA request to get some of the 911 transcript calls, the court stuff. And it was really weird because they sent me back a letter saying that's not our thing. You need to go through Riverside County for that. So I had to do a whole new FOIA request through Riverside County, but I had to do like separate ones because there's different departments to handle different things. So I had to do separate ones. And then one of the people that follows me that was helping me, she said to me, she watches a lot of crime shows and she's like, I know that you have to like bombard them with FOIA requests in order to get them done usually. So
really?
Yeah.
Well, that's not fun at all.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So you guys want to hear something crazy?
Go ahead.
I have, it's called Kadena Connect. And this is where most military service members get their information from as far as whatever's going on base. And your phone vibrates every 2 seconds. And I just got a notification that says Boil your water for 3 minutes before use.
Why? Because was it because you guys are getting
Why?
a storm? It's because you guys are getting a storm.
No, it's not. We've never had to boil water.
Oh,
Boil
really?
your water 3 minutes before use. Why? Because what does it say? Due to maintenance in the water line servicing the building listing above. This will lead to loss of pressure systems, distribution system, which may cause back pressure, back siphonage, or net movement from the water outside of the pipe to inside the crack joints. So pretty much they're doing work on the water and they're like, hey, we're going to fuck up your water system, but if you boil it, it'll be okay. Look, and it says inadequately treated water may contain disease-causing organisms. These organisms include bacteria, viruses, parasites, which can cause symptoms of diarrhea. I just want you guys to understand socialism. Bro, our water has been contaminated here and in Camp Pendleton, I want to say. I could be having it wrong, but the water supply has been fucked up for God knows how long. Now they're resorting to tell people to boil water for 3 minutes or go get store-bought water. What the fuck? I can't wait to come home, y'all.
You know, what's interesting about the water topic is I just saw a video. I want to say it was either from Jordan Peterson or somebody, but there was also an article that said nearly half of the tap water in the US is contaminated with what they're calling forever chemicals. And Judy said that this happened at her place, same thing like what you're talking about. And it happened with us not too long ago when we were having like all those crazy storms. But not to do TMI, but I just went for my physical yesterday and I was told that I had a urinary tract infection, which I didn't feel like I had a urinary tract infection, but nevertheless I had one. But my mom also had one. And I thought to myself, what if it's in the water? Because I don't drink anything but water. I drink coffee, but that has water, but I drink it black. I don't drink milk or anything like that. And I was like, man, like, what if they really are like fucking up our water in a major way and it's causing a lot of issues with us?
What if?
I don't know. That might be
What are we gonna
borderline.
do about it?
That might, well, boil your water.
Boil your water.
Boil your water. That is at least they're letting you know.
Man, these are the notifications I get all day. Oh, and my husband tore his bicep. I don't know if I mentioned that playing baseball.
Yeah.
Right. And his bicep is like way up here, dude. It looks so disgusting. Like there's nothing attached. And you need an MRI. You need an MRI to see what's going on. They won't give him an MRI because we only have one on island. And they have a 4-month waiting list.
Oh, that's socialism right there.
Please stop advocating for universal health care, y'all. Because I'm probably going to die with a torn meniscus. I'm never going to get it fixed. Never. I always drink bottled water. I think bottled water is the same. See, that's a conspiracy theory that I will entertain. Bottled water is tap water. I don't care what nobody says.
They actually did a test on bottled waters and showed that a lot of them are just basically tap water. Even the ones that have like high alkaline or whatever it is. I actually like tap water, but I have like a filter that I filter my water through. But yeah, I'm not a bottled water person. Maybe that's why I have a urinary tract infection.
Look at this shit. I'm about to play this video. You know who this is?
Yeah. She was one of the very first trannies.
Listen to this. Oh, where the sound at?
Each other. Stop giving into the bullshit. My existence, me just wanting to exist on the planet is not a threat to you. And you wanting to exist on the planet is not a threat to me unless you want to take away my rights and take away my ability to exist on my own terms. We're not a threat to each other unless we're trying to oppress power, systems, corporations.
This is a man, y'all. Let's read the caption first.
The bass in that voice.
On Jess Hilarious official, people who menstruate, the BS that goes viral as a distraction to divide folks who should be working in solidarity and love. This is the most heated I've allowed myself to be in public because the time for politeness has passed. I did a live not too long ago. You weren't there. I did it on my channel, my Instagram. I am saving my period blood for 3 months. And I'm going to have them put into paintballs. And when I come home, I'm shooting the fuck out of trannies. I'm going to shoot you with my period blood. I think we should get violent. These people are weird and out of their goddamn mind. You said ew. We have to react in extreme measures. Why not just start shooting them with our period blood? They want to bleed.
That is so gross. Shoot with the period. Like the fact that you're going to find somebody to put your period blood into paintball.
Yes.
Is gross.
If these women can spray their pants with the plants with the blood, what else did we talk about with the period blood? What they do with it?
That they were putting it in spray bottles and spraying it on their plants.
It was another one too. Found 2 different ones.
Oh no, you're talking about the putting your puss scent all over your
That's what
your puss scent on your erogenous zones or whatever they're called.
Listen. Anybody who's interested, please hit me up because I'm collecting my own for 3 months.
That's nasty.
And I'm literally going to go around and shoot trannies.
The vampire facials. That's another one. There you go. Why don't you donate your period blood for these trannies to give vampire facials? Because that's a real thing. Okay. If they maybe and just convince them that your period blood will morph them into a woman.
Watch this, but I'm
money, interest are a threat to us in our existence.
I'm a threat to your existence, sir.
This is the Laverne that I hold back because I don't want people to think we're trans people look crazy. I'm trying to rep for my
You do look crazy
community, but I'm mad. This shit is ridiculous. And I'm walking around every single day knowing.
Fuck, why does it do that?
I don't know.
I don't act like this because I don't want people to think I'm crazy. You are fucking crazy.
And I've always been a follower in a way of hers, not follower like a fan, but because I used to watch her on Orange is the New Black. So I've followed her career right from the beginning. And she was probably one of the least how they act very like how she's acting right there, that she's like, this is the Laverne I'm trying to hold back. She's very like normally subdued, and she actually tries to behave like a normal woman, if that makes sense, not like a super flamboyant one. So it's kind of weird to see this side of Laverne because I've never seen this before. But yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you call them she?
Because I get confused, Soonie. Like, I don't have time for the bullshit of you're a he and you're a she. Like, it's so hard to speak in sentences like that. It's kind of like when somebody wants their pronouns to be they, I'm not going to say they because it doesn't even make sense to me grammatically to address, if I'm right in front of you, to address you as they or them or whatever. So when it comes to how I actually just see you like this, I do try, but it's just a natural habit. Like when I'm talking to somebody, I'm just like, whatever. It is what it is. Like I called it out when I saw that headline that was referring to that trans man as a trans woman, because I think that's super confusing and misleading. If you are a man dressed as a woman, you are a trans man. You're not a trans woman in my mind, but somebody might say it's the opposite. I don't know. I'm no expert. Either way, it's buffoonery. Okay, whatever you want me to call you, it's buffoonery. So it is what it is.
This world is going to hell, and we're screwed.
It is, but
I
there are
guess
some
I
good
just
parts.
I don't know. It's a man, and we all know it's a man, but people keep
Mhm.
saying she, just like they call Bruce Jenner she. That's at that point you're conceding language. So you might as well just hop on board with the whole thing because you're willing to call them what they're not. It's like I
It's
just don't
not
get
even
it.
like
Like it's a
it's
dude.
not a
We all
willing.
know it's a dude.
It's not a willing thing. It's a I'm not even thinking about it when I'm talking about this person thing. I'm commenting on what they're saying or whatever, and it's not that I'm acknowledging in any way that he is a real woman. I don't know what's going on down there as of today. But whether I say he or she, I'm still saying what they're saying is ridiculous. I'm sorry if I'm not perfect and I don't say the right terminology all the
Don't do
time.
that. Don't do that to
It's
me.
not
I
even
asked you a
no, it's not.
question because I'm genuinely curious. There's no
And
perfection
I'm
in here. I'm
genuinely
asking
no,
a
but I'm
question.
genuinely asking. I don't think about it. I don't think about it. I really don't. It's sometimes if I catch it, if I'm thinking about it and I catch it, I for sure will say it. But in this
Nobody's asking for
situation,
perfection. I'm trying to understand how people do this.
there is no understanding for me. There is no reasoning for me. Sometimes I catch it, sometimes I don't. I have slip ups. That's it.
I won't even. Yeah, I don't do that either. Um, he's Bruce. I don't give a fuck what you change your name to. I used to say that. Well, I'll call you by your name that you changed it to, but it's like fuck you. No, I'm just to the point where I want all these people to feel uncomfortable. I don't care about your rights. I don't care about the Constitution. You need to feel uncomfortable. And if that means that they go into hiding or they leave the country, then I'm cool with that too. But I am just done. I'm done with the L, the G, the B, the Q, the I, A plus, and the X, Y, Q, Z, whatever they're going to come up with. I want these people to be uncomfortable. I really do. Just go away and never come back. Face, blue, white eyes. We can't see your emojis, by the way. If you're posting them, can't see them on the
That's how emojis come through?
like it's code.
What? He must be typing those on his phone.
Did you find whatever you're trying to pull up?
What was I trying to pull up? I don't remember.
You can't be
You
done.
can't be done with the lettuce, guacamole, tomato.
I
What does
sure
that
can.
mean?
That's what
Y'all are
someone that's what someone said LGBTQ stood for.
Oh,
Lettuce,
oh, got it. Got it.
quesadillas.
That's funny. I never even knew that. Man, I'm so out of the coolness factor.
There are emojis in the chat box.
Yeah, you've always been
Yeah,
able
but
to
when
do
you
that.
send it, it looks like an emoji versus when you post something, it doesn't look like an emoji. It looks like the code. So the dots and everything around it and the spaces, that's what makes the smiley face before it like morphs into the actual emoji. It just doesn't show on StreamYard because StreamYard probably doesn't have that.
Oh, is that what it
plugged
is?
in.
Let me see if I can see it. Oh, that
It's
is
probably
weird.
showing YouTube, but it
Yeah,
doesn't
I
show
see it on
on
YouTube.
StreamYard. Just like they're like, yeah, we don't need emojis to show up, so we're not going to add that feature. That's all.
That's crazy.
Excuse me.
Crazy. Well, that's all I have to talk about. Do you have anything else you want to talk about? Did you want to because when you left we were talking about the LeBron, you asked me, do I think it had anything to do with the vaccine?
I just think people blaming the vaccine is like the left blaming COVID for everything. Like, how do we know he didn't have an underlying heart condition and it's just now popping out now? We're just automatically assuming that he was jabbed. Same thing with Tori Kelly. The jab is not the only cause of blood clots. And it seems like every time there's a blood clot situation, then it's a jab. How come other diseases don't exist anymore? Like, it's no different than COVID. COVID was the only sickness on planet Earth for 2 years. Now the jab is the only cause of death on planet Earth for God knows how long. And I just want to understand why. Like, how come we can't discuss the nuance of how these people are falling sick? We have no information. We're not their doctors, but we're automatically assuming that this was a jab injury. That's how I looked at it. You presented a different, I can't remember exactly what you said, but you had presented something different that I understood, but didn't necessarily agree with.
Yeah, I mean, I did verbalize, because I didn't know if you were coming back or not, but I did verbalize that was your opinion on it. And while I like see your point, I just think, like when you look at certain individuals like Damar Hamlin and now Bronny James and Tori Kelly and other people like who have been young and shouldn't have heart issues at that age, like shouldn't have blood clots at that age. It'd be one thing if it was like here and there situation, but we've had many, many stories of like just looking in the athletic community of athletes that have either dropped dead or have had some type of cardiac issue. So it seems a little too coincidental to me that we don't consider that a fact, especially since they rarely come back and say what it was. Like here we have this thing with Jamie Foxx, right? Why are they being so like secretive about what happened to Jamie Foxx?
Because it's
like
his private business.
It is, but you like he came back to say I went to hell and back. Okay, well then if it's your private business, then don't even say that. Just say I had a medical issue and like it is what it is. But you literally said I went to hell and back, meaning like I died and came back to life. So naturally, people are going to be like, but what happened? Like what happened? I think people want to know, like, is there something we need to be concerned about? That all these people, if it's not the jab, what is it? What is
Why
it?
couldn't he have just had a stroke?
He could have had a stroke. Why couldn't he just say I had a stroke?
The same reason why people don't want their jab status out there, because it's nobody else's business.
But he put his jab status out there. He put a whole commercial out of him sitting in a medical gown. But I'm saying he pushed the jab, right? So he pushed the jab. He made a whole commercial of him sitting on a hospital bed in a medical gown, promoting this. And people are going to say, well, if you promoted it, we just want to make sure that wasn't your problem. LeBron James made a whole statement that him and his family were all vaccinated. I mean, we know that if you want to work in Hollywood, if you want to go to concerts, Tori Kelly is a musician. If you wanted to perform any concerts, you had to get vaccinated. So one can make the assumption they're vaccinated. I would love for it to be something else. I'll tell you that. It would be great. But unless you come out and tell us otherwise, how are we going to know?
Athletes died from or with COVID. I don't know. It just seems like headlines are controlling people at this point, because these athletes could be dying. These athletes could be dying and it not be on TV and you would never know anything about it. So is it really you using your brain to put 2 and 2 together, or is it because They've already done predictive programming for God knows how many years. And now you're falling right into a trap of labeling everything. Everything is just a conspiracy. Like everything.
But saying that an athlete could die and you wouldn't know about it if the headline didn't tell you, that's not true.
Yes, it is.
No,
If
with
athletes
this,
have died and you've had no clue they've died.
I don't, because I'm not into sports, but sports is a big enough. I mean, football and basketball alone, trust me, if an athlete died, somebody would talk about it and say, oh my God, like, so and so died, or so and so's son is in the hospital. Like, think about that. Like, that's kind of like that. I feel like that's kind of like trying to like minimalize what's going on here. And it's clear we have a problem. I know that you don't like talking about COVID, and I really don't like it either. I don't like talking about it. But one has to say at some point something is going on. Like, this thing wasn't good. And the people that got it need to know that it's not good, and they need to be firm about the fact that there's a lot of issues with it. Because if I were somebody that got the jab and I'm seeing all this going on, I'm definitely going to make a few more doctor's appointments throughout the year to make sure that I don't have blood clots or heart issues. Thank God I didn't get it.
It's natural selection. I don't see why people care. They were dumb enough to go get it. Who gives a fuck? How long have we been putting out information of what these jabs do? If they're dying from the jabs, so what? You took the shot knowing it was experimental. So, and nothing's going to come of it. I think that's my issue too, is we're spending time on absolutely nothing. Nothing is going to come of it. They're never going to take the jabs down. They're never going to assume accountability. Trump's going to keep saying it was the best thing ever, and the world will go round and people will continue to die. So why make a big deal when a celebrity has a health scare and doesn't want to say exactly what he died, what his health scare was? If they die, they freaking die. It's your fault. You took it. I don't have any sympathy for these people.
I agree with that, but I think that something can come of it, whereas people will know, hey, I took this jab. I need to take it seriously. I need to get checked out. I need a little bit more than just your regular schmegular physical. I think it is important, because a blood clot is no joke. A blood clot can sneak up on you in the middle of the night and take you out. And luckily, there are some people that are experiencing symptoms of having blood clots, and they're able to, get the blood clots removed or whatever, right? And hopefully save their life. But there's a lot of people that don't recognize the symptoms. If I took the shot and I start feeling some of these symptoms.
What are these conversations doing though? Like, how is us talking about Jamie Foxx not wanting to disclose what happened to him going to wake people up to the jab? If they weren't woken up with the first, how many deaths we talked about, why are they going to wake up now?
I mean, why do we talk about anything we talk about then? Because if nothing's going to wake anybody up just by talking about it, then why do we talk about it?
Because there are some things that actually matter. I don't think someone's
matter to you
matters.
Matter to you. That's what I'm saying. It matters to somebody, but there's some things that matter to you and some things that don't matter to you. They matter to somebody. And whether they matter to that somebody or not, I think when you are in a position to be able to give information, you have I think a duty to report, just because it doesn't mean anything to you, to at least report on it and say, hey guys, what do you think about this? Like, are you concerned? If you got the shot, are you concerned? I'm not concerned. I report on this stuff. It doesn't personally affect me because I didn't get the shot. But my mom got the shot. My dad got the shot. And I sit here and think to myself, oh my God, like, I'm going to watch them like a hawk. What if they start to feel dizzy? What if they feel this certain way? Am I going to just jump to taking them straight to the hospital? Yeah, I am. Probably more so than I normally would. Then I would just be like, hey, why don't you just lay down, put a little wet rag on your head? No, not anymore. Now I'm going to jump into action because I don't want my parents to die of a blood clot, which could be a potential for them. So that's how I feel about it. I mean, I don't do this to talk about, trust me, I don't do this to talk about all the things I care about. I do this to talk about what people care about, and people do care about this. It's proven. We done?
Hmm?
Are we done? I don't know what else we're talking about besides this one. We were talking about this was the last topic that you left out on, and then after that we
You
talked
were
about
bringing
Tori
something
Campbell.
up. You told me to talk while you pulled something up.
Oh, I couldn't remember, but I brought up the LeBron James thing, and I said, "Did you want to talk about that?" And that's what we were just talking about. Did we
Before
have
that,
more?
you were looking for something. You said, "Can
Oh,
we
I
talk
couldn't
while I pull
remember.
something up?"
I couldn't remember what I was
I
trying to
got
look
this
up.
shot to continue to give my daughter a good life. Not worried about the outcome of it. To me, it was worth it. I don't know. I'm just emotionally detached from a lot of this stuff because I don't feel that it really matters. Um, People die every day from their choices, but I do think that it's sensationalized, and I don't think that's a good thing because it causes a distraction from other things that matter. People are going to keep dying from this. People are going
I
to keep having
agree.
heart attacks. Every headline is going to read this, and then we're going to get sucked into this. I just don't think it really matters. So I always challenge people. So what? Like why does it matter if Jamie Foxx says or doesn't say? Bronny could have had some sort of genetic disease. Maybe that's exactly what happened to him. Who knows if he actually got the jab? Just because his father pushed it for the sake of dollars doesn't mean that he went ahead and jabbed his kids.
He had to if
There's
he went
just
to USC. It was
nuance.
if you go to a university, you had to get the jab. You had to.
I don't think that's true for everyone because I've heard some students didn't have to get it. That's what I mean by the sensationalism of this entire topic is we're painting everything with a broad brush and saying if you don't do this then you can't do this, and that's not true because I know students who are in
But
these schools that don't have a jab.
well, they had to have gotten some type of an exemption for sure, but it was a requirement. I forget what the acronym is of the sports association that runs college sports, but I know because I have several friends that have students that were attending college and they had to either get an exemption or they had to get the vaccine.
So then that
So, and
begs the
California is
question
not
of
an easy one.
does everybody have to get the jab or can they get an exemption?
I don't know. It would be great if like he came out and said, "Hey, no worries guys. I didn't get the vaccine." That we can check off the list. That wouldn't that be
What I'm
amazing?
No, I don't what does
Wouldn't
that
that be
do?
amazing?
What does that do?
It puts all this stuff to rest because see, here's the thing. If they didn't want it to become a headline, they would start it by saying LeBron James' son, who we learned is not vaccinated, suffered cardiac arrest. Oh, well, that kills that theory. Tori, whatever the fuck her name is, who wasn't vaccinated, suffered a dizzy spell at a restaurant in Los Angeles, went to the hospital and had blood clots, but she was vaccinated. Okay, well, that kills that story. I mean, it's the same thing, Soonie. Why, like, it's my question, like, why is Suki with the good coochie relevant? Why is Young Mommy relevant or Miami or whatever the fuck her name is, or any other person that we talk about that does stupid shit? Like I said, that's relevant to somebody and not relevant to other people. I'm only talking about this because it is a relevant topic. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a headline every other day. Every other day, somebody is dying of something, and it starts the whole this is COVID related discussion. Whether it should or it shouldn't, it does. That is the reality. And they could kill it if they wanted to, but they don't.
Right, because they know we're going to do this.
Right.
Waste time talking about nothing.
Well,
Nothing.
no, we're not talking
These
about
are
nothing.
his children. Like, I don't know.
Right.
I know how I am. I'm
agree.
built different. You're not, I don't owe you shit. I don't give a fuck how much of a public figure I am. I don't owe you shit. I ain't got to tell you what's going on with my kids. And that's it. That's how I look at it. So maybe I'm putting myself here like, this is too much, bro. Way too much. People feel entitled to way too much information that they do not deserve. Do not deserve it. I don't know who got the jab. The headlines do what they do, and then we sit here and speculate. Sure, speculation is fun sometimes, but we're speculating the same thing over and over and over every time someone is either dead or sick. It's the jab. And I feel like I'm looking at the left. It's COVID. Somebody died in a goddamn motorcycle accident, and they died from COVID. We don't know if they had it or not. Now I feel like I'm listening to the same thing. This person crashed, and they crashed with blood clots, so that means that they had the shot, which contributed to them crashing with these blood clots. It's like connecting dots that don't deserve to be connected.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's all I'm saying, bro. I can give a fuck about politicians. I don't give a shit. The only time I care is when they're pushing BS narratives to make people think a certain way. But someone just coming down sick, no, that does not deserve my mouth on it, because they're not doing anything besides croaking or having some goddamn blood clots. Like, I don't give a fuck that Trump is going to jail again. And you know what's about to happen? We're going to be talking about Trump being tried for all these ridiculous charges again. However, LeBron came out and said all of his kids were vaxxed, so they volunteered that info. I get that. I just don't understand why we're assigning a jab death. A jab injury to it. That's all I'm saying. It does become repetitive. Just like the race subject. There's times where I completely walk away. And then there's times where it may be a moment to drop a seed. What does the Bible say? There's nothing new under the sun. I agree. Anyway, guys, thanks for hanging out with us. I've been in and out. I've had to do things. I'm busy. We will see you guys Friday.
Bye, guys. Have a good one. Thanks for coming.
They say the song's so offensive, but only if you get offended. I can't offend you without your permission, and you don't even have to listen.